Oh, oh, we're hot. Oh, oh. I think almost got me again. Oh boy, what's up, everybody? I guess it's it's that time of the day again. I think it's time when we's gonna talk about Star Wars. So I recommend you get your seatbelts on, get yourself a whoopee, grab yourself something to drink, maybe some niblets, whatever's gonna get you through the stream, because we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna change. Let me see, and we're gonna do some of that, and then we're gonna bring in my guy. We're gonna. Oh no, we can't do that. I can't do it. But let me. Do I go over here? Do I go over here? Which way do I go? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going today.
Hold on. I gotta get y'all in here, nice and personal for today.
Oh yeah.
I've been slaying some yinglings in this color appropriate koozie, man. Dark side represented today.
Bro, I am. So I don't know if a lot of people know what's cracking right now, but I don't know nothing about nothing. So I know nothing about nothing right now. I got nothing. I know nothing. I've seen nothing. I've seen some Twitter stuff. That's about it. I've seen some tweets.
He's only seen the worst stuff.
I've seen very well, and I've heard people. I've heard the peeps talking the whole time about what's what. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get there.
Where do you want me here?
You're good. I'm figuring out my layout because I got the green screen today because I'm going to bring up some stuff, and so I got all things going on. In fact, you know what?
Go in.
All right, we're getting back to regular. Okay, so let's get this party started. I don't know nothing about nothing. Like nothing about nothing about nothing. Right? I know nothing. I haven't seen a single trailer. Everybody's been talking about the Ahsoka trailer. I haven't seen it. I've seen a couple of snippets of information here. I've tried to put everybody's streams up in the background without any audio because I don't know nothing about nothing. Right? So, yeah. So this is going to be fun, I think, for all parties involved.
I'm there, man. I'm ready to take your reactions because I've had a little while to digest some of this stuff and think about theories. So,
yeah, see, you guys.
I know you're going to be deep in this Ahsoka stuff more so than me.
You guys have had all of this time and you guys have had all this time to reflect on what you've seen already. I haven't seen nothing, so I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing yet. So it's going to be entertaining for all of you guys because I don't know nothing about nothing.
I mean,
we're getting set back up. All right.
We don't have enough time. I'll just be honest.
I got all day. I've been working hard. I've been working, doing things.
I've got Jedi Mike in the chat there.
I haven't even opened the chat yet. Things are out of control. Okay. So, all right. Welcome to the chat. Oh, dude, I'm telling you.
Republic, baby.
All right. So, I was going to wait a couple minutes, see who else was coming along for the ride. We'll see. We'll see who else is coming to hang out. But yeah. So I'm going to start with the Ahsoka trailer. I'm going to pull that up. I figure go to what, StarWars.com or YouTube Star Wars. I figure out how to do it.
Yeah, man.
Right?
That boy Steve, we are slaying yinglings tonight.
Oh,
cheers.
We're getting the kids. Okay, Star Wars. Let's go to Star Wars' actual page because I prefer their stuff to the rest of the. There it is. Okay, Star Wars page.
Mike, all the spoilers, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't care anymore. I'm over it. All right, let's see. Where's this trailer at? Where are you at, my guy? Mm-hmm. I mean, it says Star Wars Celebrations Europe, so let's go in there, I guess.
I don't know about that, Steve.
Okay, I guess we're going back a couple.
Actually, while he's doing that, since we're talking beer history,
okay,
I live about 30 minutes from a city called Utica, New York, and the beer is a Utica Club. It was the first beer sold after Prohibition. It's a Pilsner. It's right on the can, so it's got to be true.
Oh, anything that's written is true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got. Let's I'm gonna share this screen also. We're gonna share this guy. Okay.
Dude, I'm hyped that you haven't even peeked at
I
this
have
yet.
I haven't peeped. I haven't seen. I like I said, I don't know nothing about nothing right now because I have literally kept away from the internet. Anybody that talked to me at work, that was like, "Oh my god, did you?" No, like my name is no, my number is no. Don't tell me no. I don't want to know. Like that's it. No. So we're gonna check it out today, and we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's what. I'm hearing good things.
Dude, such great things.
I've
I
heard good
think
things so
I think
far.
they're things you're talking about. So
I
I'm
think
excited.
I mean, yeah, I mean, am I going to be I'm already right, right? So like this is like a victory lap for me kind of today, right? Like cuz I've been waiting. Like I said, everybody already ruined the daisies coming back through Twitter and through all that. So this is a victory lap for me. If you're not here for the victory lap, get out of here. Right? If you're not here for it, I'm sorry, but it's factual today. I'm taking a victory
Mm,
lap. If you didn't get it by the thumbnail, you are in the wrong place. I'm just saying. I got my Ahsoka Sabine shirt on for the trailer. Like, this is it. This is the show. Look, I broke this out. Actually,
nice.
yes, I have two of these because I buy everything of mine. But I wore one of these yesterday, and I was texting with Sheev, and I was like, he's like, "Did you see anything?" And I was like, "No, I haven't seen nothing. I know nothing, but I am wearing this shirt at work." And so I took a picture next to where I was working, and he's like, "Oh, damn, that's," I was like, "Ironic," and he's like, "Bro, you have no idea." So I invited all those guys to come hang out. We'll see what's what. Um, but yeah, I've said, oh, wait. Oh, what was it? Wait, was that me? Was I right? No, shut the. There's no way I was right. I'm not right about nothing, bro. When am I right? This is inconceivable. This is inconceivable. All right. Should we just jump into it? I was gonna wait till the 10-minute mark. Oh, I did. Your boy put up something on Twitter right now. That I was like, I have to have. Did you see the new Black Series helmet that they just released?
No.
It
Which one?
it's the Ahsoka paint scheme from the final episode of
Yo, yes.
the
On
Clone
that's
Wars.
cool. Hell
I
yeah, the blue and orange.
I don't care. It's gonna cost more than the rest. I have to have it. I think I have to have it.
I
I
mean,
think I might
that's
have a
why that's why
collector's
they do
on it.
these things, man.
The Ahsoka loyalist. Yeah, the Ahsoka loyalist until they were the Ahsoka hunters. But that was irony. Um, yeah, there you go. America's oldest. What's the name of it?
Yingling.
Yingling, America's oldest brewery since
But then I had to trump him
1829.
because I had to Google something too. I don't think Utica Club even had a brewery, so let's put it that way.
Um, yeah, dude. Okay, so
Anyway, Star Wars, yeah.
yeah, I hear. Look,
Are you gonna play this trailer or what?
I'm trying to.
He is in
Yes,
stall mode,
I
y'all.
am in stall mode. All right,
My
let's.
gosh.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
What do you
Let's.
think? Okay, hold on. Since you haven't really seen anything, what would be the biggest like
Okay, I'll tell you the things
surprise
that
thing for
I've
you?
seen.
Because I don't have this opportunity to grill people before they've actually seen
I've
something that
I've
I see.
seen I've seen orange lightsabers. Is a thing that I've seen on Twitter.
Okay.
So I've seen
Okay.
orange lightsabers.
I mean, that's the
Is
main thing I
is
want to talk
that George Clooney?
about. No.
Okay. Good. I'm glad.
You got to get a better look at him.
Okay, good. I'm glad because I was like,
What's his name? Steve something?
is that George Clooney?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know there's
No,
orange
much better
lightsabers.
casting if you ask
So I
me.
I don't.
No
Hey,
offense,
dude,
George.
when you're putting Jack Black and Lizzo in a scene, I'm sorry. There's all bets are off, dude. This isn't the
Can I
new
get a
Modern
yes
Family.
or no if George Clooney could pull off a red lightsaber? Can I just get some yes or no's in the
Here,
chat?
we'll do this. We'll do this. I'm gonna clear the emoji rain. Let's do this. Let's do thumbs up or thumbs down. There you
If
go.
George
If
Clooney
George
can pull
Clooney could
off a red
pull off
lightsaber.
the Inquisitor look, thumbs up or thumbs down. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So I've seen Chopper. That's
Okay.
one of the images I saw on Twitter. I shouldn't have gone on Twitter at
He's
all.
seen everything, man. You've seen it
Um,
if you've been on Twitter. You
No,
can't
no,
lie to me.
I really haven't seen really anything. Like every time I'm looking, I was like, oh, stop looking, and I put it away. And that was just right now getting ready for the stream because I was like, we got to pull up some stuff. How does everybody feel? Um, I mean, people seem to think, Steve seems to think that he could pull off an Inquisitor look. So,
You
you
guys are
know,
crazy.
all right, screw it. Here we go. We're doing it live.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got to put us in a different spot. I can't have us there. How does that look?
I like this look.
Okay, that look. Okay. I'm gonna put this. Okay. So we're gonna drop this now. I don't think we'll get shut down, right? Because they like this trailer shit, right? Everybody's
Yeah,
watching.
no, I think they don't pull you. If
It's
anything, they'll
YouTube.
claim
It's
it.
on YouTube though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. I got to get rid of the closed caption. I don't.
In my head, I was like, I don't know how he'll make it through this whole thing without pausing it. And then we're 3 seconds in. I was like, wow, he did it. And then,
For others, power.
It's been a while. Things have changed. We have to prepare for the worst. The Jedi fell a long time ago. There aren't many left.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
I could fucking cry. Dave
Wow.
Filoni is a fucking master. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it again. No music, a cappella. Fuck all of you who doubt Dave Filoni. Sack up because your Favreau guy that's the savior of Star Wars is slipping, and this dude is putting on the afterburners. So I'm sorry, Dave. John Favreau should have never taught Dave Filoni nothing because he's literally outshining his teacher. This is, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
we are what they grow beyond, man.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you eating, girl?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
already
you're eating
know.
something.
Today,
All right.
that
So
good sirloin.
again, are you back on the steak? I thought you were on a budget.
Fuck the budget. I'm hungry.
All right. I'm hungry.
All right, we're getting into this. We're getting sweaty, Dan, into the Ahsoka trailer.
Let's see.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Have
you seen it?
You've seen it, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the first
Cool.
time I've seen it, so I'm
Cool.
I got the scalpel.
I heard you talking that talk about your boy Favreau.
I mean, let's be straight, dude. I mean, Favreau's slipping.
Yo,
You talking about
and
writing
also-
Boba Fett? Everybody's mad as a dog in a hubcap factory about Boba Fett, right? Kenobi's kind of a toss up from the old and the new guard because that was kind of a multi jurisdictional crime, and
Yeah.
and then acquitted of all charges, but still a crime. And then I mean, really, if you're unhappy with this season of Mandalorian, then that's your boy. I mean, so far everything I've seen from Dave has been pretty snappy, if you ask me. I'm just saying. So
that's the truth.
and this shit is ridiculous. Yeah, Sabersmith, we're gonna get into all of that. This is gonna be
strap in, chat.
Stretch your legs, get ready. So is this, it's not, I mean, it's not red. Is this Malachor?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's a planet though that she's exploring for sure. That's not where she's trapped or anything. I think this is
I'm
after.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure other planets had temples that access the world between worlds, right?
Yeah, I mean Lothal, essentially I would assume where Yoda is, because he was able to tap into that when he gave Ezra his lightsaber. Basically, I feel like that's kind of where they were.
Yeah.
Is in that, not necessarily in the world between worlds, but in that
They were in a place
I'm
between
really
places.
curious.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm not saying this looks like her home world, but I'm curious how she'll be able to access it on her own if
I
that's what
mean,
happened.
do the wall markings look Zephan to you?
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
this
Especially the top right oval there with the
yeah, right.
circle
That's
below it.
exactly how I was feeling. Like that's very
That top
Zepho.
right pillar. Yeah,
Um,
for sure. All the circular, anything that is circular and has any kind of
well, and I mean the
ruined
language here.
symmetry to it.
If you're looking at the language, I mean, or the image here, the
Mhm.
circle has that same writing that we saw in Tython with
The
our
room
little man
itself is kind
Grogu.
of set up similar as
So
well.
we're in that space.
Mhm.
I like how she doesn't destroy the seal, right? She's not
Mm.
about like destroying the artifacts of the old,
Yep.
right? She's
Yeah. About right to the
okay, but
center of it.
this screams world between world, right? And to me, this screams map. This doesn't scream entrance to the world between world. Little temple she's at here screams like this is the map,
Damn. So like, yeah,
right? This is
the first or the original or the
the map that was laid
shrine
out,
and temple to
right?
it.
How to get
Yeah.
what entrances do what, how this whole thing works. If you can understand this, you kind of have. I just feel like,
It's that ultimate power.
I mean, yeah,
That,
this is. I
well,
mean,
that quote unquote Palpatine was searching for.
yeah, this feels like a map. This doesn't feel like an entry point or a doorway. I mean, maybe there was something like this on Dagobah, where Yoda was hanging out, because maybe he found a chamber like this. I thought that planet was a little shrouded in the dark side, so it wouldn't have had
Mm.
all of this. But yeah, this feels very. It feels like a map to me. It doesn't necessarily scream an entry chamber.
This right here had me like, oh,
This
are
is
they going to show us Malachor? The red
I
lighting. I was
love.
like, oh, are they going right to Malachor?
I know, right? I love that she's basically in Ezra's old apartment, or in Ezra's
Mm.
old like they destroyed his home, but it's got that same feel that his parents' joint had.
What do you think she's doing right there?
Mandalorians are real ritualistic, right? And she is a quintessential Mandalorian. So
I think after they leave the mural, I think she goes there before, right? One last time before they leave.
I think she might be going to get Ezra's saber.
Yeah.
I think
Make sure she has everything she needs.
I think that might be hidden somewhere in the apartment. It's not something she's going to tote around. It's something she's going to keep safe. And she was a master of, explosives and security. So it definitely has has an interesting perspective on how to protect something. So
they haven't had to be in hiding here, right? This is like after the
this is
war,
New
after everything's
Lothal.
kind of yeah.
This is the new Lothal. You saw the big skyscrapers. It was not a small little dingy town anymore.
Yep.
It's been many years since. I mean, look at her hair, for example. Use that as an example. But
oh yeah,
I mean,
true. How grown out it is. Jeez,
yeah, I
didn't
mean,
think of
from
that.
where we last saw her, it's
beginning.
I love that there's a live action Loth cat,
Yep.
and that she's got a Loth cat. That she's got a Loth cat pet, because Ezra was so connected to the Loth cats, to all of the animals of Lothal, to all animals really, but the Loth cats and him they were always around. He was very symbiotic with the Loth cats and him, much like Ahsoka is with Morai, right?
Yeah.
Usually when there was Ezra, there was a Loth cat on Lothal. Like he loved them, they loved him. So I feel like this is very Kanan and the Wolf, right? This not necessarily Ezra's spirit, but she's keeping
Right.
a Loth cat around to
Get that.
to keep him close, so to speak. I mean, what a great. They didn't have to do much with her, huh? I mean,
No, I mean Rosario at Celebration was like gushing over just looking at her and the other girl and the casting, and she's like, "This is how Dave felt when he saw me as Ahsoka. Like I turn
Yeah.
and look at you, and I literally don't even have to put you in makeup or anything. You are Sabine.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's crazy.
Well, and that's
They
what I'm
literally
saying.
look the exact same."
I think Dave has put a lot of himself into this. A lot of that
Mhm.
Clone War love, a lot of that
Put that
Rebels,
little beauty
you know,
mark there too.
everything, man. The color,
Perfect.
everything, the eyes, the frame, everything is. I mean, what a spectacular job. Okay, so this is
These
after she comes.
guys.
This is after she comes out of the temple.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Sith
y'all just come
protector.
out of nowhere after I get down in there? Like, I got some theories.
Well, lay it on me because I'm
We got to
thinking.
go a little further
Okay, so we
because
can
it
go
is
through and then come
after.
back. Okay.
For some,
These colorations too,
Whoa.
like
Okay.
those are not those are the same as like Cal is fighting in the game.
These
Similar weapons.
same weapons. We've seen a lot of these weapons.
Mhm.
Zeb carried a form of this
He's
weapon.
got a blaster too.
Bow rifles. These look like, and this is going to sound crazy, but these kind of look like potential first gen death troopers.
Ooh.
Still human something, right? Because there's cables attaching what looks like could be breathing apparatuses.
Maybe.
There's tubes to the head, maybe. I don't know, man. I'm just spitballing here.
Speculation for sure.
But this, she comes out post Empire, right? That's when this is supposed to be. I mean, this is
what everyone's trying to figure out is who are these droids? Who are the other people?
I feel like
well, we'll come back to it.
Going.
This I love. Live action Phantom 2 is fantastic. Hera with the ghost symbol on her jacket. Okay, and that's Kenobi's wife, right? That's Ewan's wife, right?
Yeah. Ex-wife.
Yeah. Okay. Mary
Elizabeth Weinstead.
Okay. I was super
Scott
wrong.
Pilgrim.
That's my favorite part of the whole trailer so far.
Chopper? Is that you?
Live action Chopper with his arms. I hope Dave Filoni is
Literal
still
serial
voicing
killer.
Chopper, the little serial killer that he is. I hope Dave is still voicing him.
for others.
Oh, he has to be. He gives off a little sound there.
Okay, so this is my guy. This is my George Clooney lookalike, huh? Okay.
For others.
Oh yeah, I got some theories on him.
Yo, go real slow when this girl comes out of the elevator.
Yeah, I saw something. In the
It's
first watch, and I wasn't sure if it was like a
favorite
necklace, like a necklace swinging, like a pendant, or the Outlander theory.
So for both
is that
of
she's
them,
the
Shin might be a stand-in for your girl. I don't know if Lucky's in the chat or not, but Mara Jade. Yeah, and my guy right here, I've been saying for the longest he's Terran Malicos unleashed from that tomb, but I came across some other interesting things too, that this dude might have been plucked from the world between worlds by Ahsoka from a different timeline. Like he could be Revan or an Anakin that never became Vader, because homie said that his casting was kept so secret, but his name's Balin. But I don't see why a guy Dark Jedi named Balin would be so secretive. Like that just doesn't really add up to me. So Balin and Shin give off like code names to me, and to hide their real identities.
Well,
I think they're hidden mainly because they're like actual Sith red lightsabers that exist post Palpatine.
It's weird to say that. He has to be a Jedi. He has to be a Jedi outcast
Mhm.
or something, because if his apprentice is following Jedi code and has a Padawan braid.
Yeah, she does. And
I
she's
know,
wearing
right
white
there.
here.
So like my thought is,
There's a really good shot of it if you go a little further up. Yeah, you can see the end.
she looks like she looks like
Carrie.
her light no
Oh.
her lightsaber looks like Kanan.
That's what I heard too,
someone
but
said that too.
Right,
But the
Terry?
emitter is a little different.
Yeah,
Right there.
the braid.
Good stop. You can see the braid. Clear as day, dude.
Well, and that's my thing, is obviously she's wearing Sith armor, right? She's got her gauntlets, her Sith gauntlets, her Imperial, what looked like Imperial gauntlets.
She did call herself an apprentice at Celebration.
Yeah,
So
she's obviously an apprentice.
She's a master of some sort. And their blade colors are definitely a more intense red, orange.
They're like orange.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so she's wrecking house. Okay, it's summer. So what did I say? God, celebration is making me right as a motherfucker.
Dude,
I love being right. Don't tell me I'm wrong.
I'm gonna reach all the way out there. If we're really doing some time shit, like could be Xana and Bane.
Oh shit.
Bro, you really want to get some time? You want to get some time shit in there, talented Mr. Griffin? I'm gonna steal that.
Okay, so she's in the tower. That's the city of Lothal. That's the built-up city. So it's been time. Same shot. So she's going to. She was saying that's what I was saying. That was Ezra's apartment. She was living in.
100% Darth Maximus, a fallen Jedi and his apprentice. I'm real curious. I think the sabers could be found. Okay, I'm just gonna say that they could be found sabers. Or these people corrupted them. Like, how do they even know how to do that? You know what I mean? I don't think they're corrupted. I think it's like
they both are labeled as
these relics.
66 survivors as well.
Maybe they have an obsession with the dark side and they found some like Sith holocrons and stuff that led them to this place.
You know what? They're the beginning of the Sith alchemy on Exegol. Sith archivist. Heard it here first.
It cuts way away from the temple, though. It cuts away from the temple and goes to here right before she meets up with them.
Well,
I'm gonna get back into that temple.
You see, what are you talking about?
Where you can like see the backgrounds and the guys talking. I don't think we've hit it yet.
Oh,
Steve Steranka.
So this plays along with the animated series. She's hanging out, looking over Lothal, and Ahsoka's ship comes in. She gets on her speeder and speeds towards Lothal. We always assumed that this was in a cave somewhere, but later on we started to realize this is actually a landing platform. So this is some kind of mural to the
Jedi
Savior.
Mike is just not with the love in Star Wars. He wants no Mara, no Bo Din. Like no one can just love, man. No love, Jedi Mike. What the hell?
So obviously this is a shrine for the people of Lothal, to Kanan and Ezra and the rest of the
ghost crew. Yeah,
for
heroes
for saving Lothal. Right.
I wonder if we're getting a Kanan appearance in the show.
Force Ghost.
That'd be that's a tough sell at this point.
Hey man, we got the entirety of
it's been a while.
Crew. The wolves are supposed to come back.
Things have changed.
Bro, I don't think it's a tough sell because essentially he did what Obi-Wan did. He was ready. He was ready in that moment. And the blast did what Vader's blade did, essentially. I think he could have surrendered himself to the Force in that moment. And we hear his voice.
In episode 9.
Yes, sir. If anybody, I think it's to Ezra, though.
Okay, so who do you have here? Mon Mothma.
I recognize the homie with all the eyes.
She's just at the right age where she can play any Mon Mothma. elder.
Yeah, for real.
You know,
So first
I thought
appearance of
Thrawn's
Thrawn. Now I
Hmm.
was hearing that
Hmm.
all the rumors were false,
Mhm.
and that he's playing himself.
yeah.
So does Dave Filoni have this magical, what am I looking for? This magical way of speaking to where he makes them an offer they cannot refuse? Or are they so excited to do this that they're like, yes, I will keep your secret. I will not peep a soul of this. I will take 3 cars to get to set, so I'll make sure I'm not being followed. Let's do this. Or is this just Dave being that good of a negotiator?
Well, I mean,
I think money talks.
it's only for like 2 because he picks and chooses who's he going to bring back. You know,
No, I mean, but this goes to Katie playing Bo-Katan.
and
This goes
Thrawn.
to, this is not the first live action transition character, that he's done a very, very, very fantastic job of casting and keeping. It just seems like
I'm sorry, 4.
They're like, listen, man, we already have the 3D model of your entire head. We're gonna use it anyway. Do you want to be a part of it?
I,
return.
I mean, but he's back, and
I think
now
he's hyped. I think people are hyped to do these roles.
now
I'm trolling. I really
is
think they're all
this
hyped.
where'd you go, you silly? Is this
There's a new beginning. For others,
No Leia Rose. No Luke Skywalker. Only Ray Palpatine. You understand me?
It's been a while. Things have changed.
okay? Are these Republic, or are these
The New Republic.
are these New Republic vessels, or is this Thrawn's new fleet?
I'm gonna
New
trigger a bunch of
Republic
people.
vibes.
Yeah, they remind me of those little getaway shuttles from The Last Jedi.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I dig it.
Yeah.
They also look very separatist.
Ooh, yeah.
The only reason that I asked that is this, could Thrawn have found a fleet of separatist ships?
I want undead stormtroopers. Where's that undead army Thrawn? Show me the ghost. And he's on
Okay, so we're
as
That's-
heir to the Empire.
is that her? I don't think
Yeah, that's the ship that she picks up. Sabine.
I don't think so, my guy.
Jedi Mike says they're supposed to be like the last.
That looks Lambda class, dude.
No, that's her little vertical. Yeah, that's her little vertical guy there. Because then I think the next clip is her tearing shit
Saber
up.
Smith says they could be the High Magistrate's fleet. Jedi Mike says they're supposed to be like the Last Jedi. We just don't know.
Oh, the High Magistrate's fleet.
Yeah,
A part
we
of
do see-
Thrawn's, for sure, potentially.
As heir to the Empire.
This right here, in the woods. Like, who's she talking to in the woods?
She said the thing. She said it.
Yep. And I'm gonna say those ships are her ships. Those 3 ships here.
They are.
It looks
because
fancy. And the dome shaping.
she's mounting a rescue sake on. Yeah.
Yo, we
Okay.
gotta go back a couple frames though. Hold up.
What if
Can we
she's
go back
talking
and
to
just
him?
look at the? We just look at the things navigating the maps.
The
They're
robot?
droids.
The
They're
droids?
droids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Those
just
are navigation droids.
because there's these species that they
I'm talking about Skywalker.
introduced. No, there's a species of aliens they introduced in the sequels that were helping Snoke find the unknown regions. They're like the only ones that know the way through. So I'm curious
back.
about the droids.
Go back to the
Oh.
Ahsoka clip real quick.
Yeah, the woods here.
She
Who's
could be talking to her friend Sabine or her new buddy.
It looks like a new place we haven't
Taryn
seen.
Malicos. Yeah.
Man, that looks Lambda class to me.
But she's meeting somebody on that
Flat,
planet.
the flat edges of that.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I know what you're saying. Like the triangular. I can see
Yeah,
it right
that looks
there.
Lambda class to me. The flatness,
Okay,
it's not rounded like a Ahsoka ship.
for
It's
sure.
flat. That looks Lambda class. That's what I'm saying. Are these Thrawn ships?
Maybe.
Not because look at the rounded nature of the magistrate. It's round, it's circular, right? I'm with you, but I just feel like that looks like a Lambda class shuttle.
Ooh, they said Mr. Griffin says could those be Chiss ships?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Are those Thrawn ships?
Fuck no. I'm sorry. That was meant for the
As
wrist.
heir to the Empire.
Right? Like, look at that. That's that total design, right? I
Fancy.
mean, round.
Yeah, and we have never seen this. We've never seen this color interior of a ship, this
Right.
design interior of a ship. It's never,
Okay.
so, yeah, man, leave it here for a second.
He's doing some research.
Well, my thing is, have they done goofed? Because is he supposed to be like a filmmaker Jedi? Because in the background you see LED
Well, that's
lights.
what's
No, those are
Kiss.
lasers. Those are lasers.
It's like, what the hell?
And my point is, look at the map, though. That's what I'm saying. If this is a room similar to what she found before she got attacked by those bots, those droids,
I think it is. I think it's her going down in here.
those look like lasers that you guide that give you arc and angle and all that stuff. So like if he's trying to map out
Surveying.
yeah, like if he's trying to basically design this map in a 2D form, this is how
I
you
also think that the lights in the room he has set up are because something he's gonna place in there or something's gonna trigger that to open up.
there's an
A
obelisk in the middle,
holocron.
but there's an
Right.
obelisk in the middle of the room. So
Yep.
he's trying to figure out what lines have to intersect so that everything coalesces, much like one of those
Oh, I think it's gonna
one
be
of those
triggered by a
treasures
key.
in Fallen Order where you had to like do this and do that to make things line up right. This feels like one of those puzzles.
Or maybe he's in the world between worlds right now, looking
shit.
Yep.
You want
for
a fucking,
Thrawn.
oh.
Yeah.
You want a nice twisted theory?
What's that?
Is this Cal Kestis?
Holy fuck!
Is this old man Kestis?
Damn.
It just might be.
Is this old man Kestis? You know, I mean,
What,
not
like
to,
he's been in
not
there
to
the
be
whole time
not
and
to
never
be
left?
offensive. If I offend anybody, spoiler alert. If I offend you, I apologize.
Sorry, Nerd Mafia, you're late.
But
Go ahead.
you know, I know that redheads do go silver. They don't necessarily like they go, you know, and Cal Kestis would have gone silver hair, you know. So could this be an old man Kestis made it through the Empire and decided to go dark and pick up an apprentice? Or is that his daughter that he went dark for?
I don't know about that one.
I mean, come on, man. This could be old man Kestis. Hashtag old man Kestis. Come on. It looks like he's trying to map. Come on, man. That looks like old man Kestis.
No, stop.
I'd
I'm
rather
blowing
stick
that theory
with,
up today. I'm gonna make a
I think if anything, they're Old Republic.
I'd
Old
rather stick
Republic.
with Old Man Revan or Old Man Anakin.
It's a broadsword, and Old Republic would be like they are Old Republic Sith who found access to the world between worlds as well.
His armor's super old.
The Nice Templar, yeah.
All right, you want to hear a rad theory?
What you got?
All right, I'm gonna blow your mind holes. Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I even stopped the music for y'all. Are you ready? And you don't seem ready. Chad, are you guys ready? Because I'll stop.
I don't know.
I won't even blow your mind holes if you guys don't want your mind holes blown.
Let's go. What do you got?
Bro, I'm ready to be blown.
Fix that.
You're
Right?
making up Nerd Mafia. Could this be Tar Vizsla? His armor is very Mandalorian. He's got gauntlets. Could this be Tar Vizsla?
That's interesting.
I don't want it to
His
be.
armor, man. His armor is very Mandalorian. He's got gauntlets.
We're triggering chat. We need better theories real quick.
Yo, I mean,
go back a couple of frames. So like, can we? I want to get back onto something because they're definitely there doing research.
I'm not
like,
shitting
you can
you,
see.
dude. Look at him. Like Tar Vizsla was a millennium.
God damn it! Listen to me. This is listen for real, okay?
Listen, Linda,
Because you're
listen.
gonna like this, and I don't know if chillin' is lurking here, but I'm getting Stargate vibes. The scientists had all this equipment, lighting. They were literally studying the gate. I think that's what this guy's doing. I think he's trying to figure out how it opened. Maybe they accidentally walked through some shit and they want to just go back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hyped. They're there trying to learn some shit. I think it's the same temple she goes down into, but she could also free them accidentally somehow. You know what I mean?
Well, I
Like
don't think
Dan was
they're trying.
saying, she could have pulled them through.
You know, in these stories, I think Ahsoka might be trying to send them back, and they're like, "Nah, bruh, let me stay."
Mm. That's what I'm saying. Like, she stumbles across them accidentally.
Man, this guy is throwing me mad Mandalorian vibes. Minus a helmet. This dude is like throwing me mad. The gauntlets, right? I
It
mean,
almost looks like he has a sheath too. Like, I know lightsabers don't have sheaths, but on
Well,
his front left.
the thing is,
that's the belt. That's
what
the night belt.
Mhm.
You know how they used to
Darth
drape it through.
Maximus, they never use old school characters. What if they're a canon version of those old school characters? They don't necessarily have to be.
The only reason I even throw that in the pot is because they spent so much time with Tar
Building Mandalore.
Vizsla making that short of Sabine and her brother, spending some time in learning the lore of the Darksaber. The Darksaber is very prevalent in our current canon that they're walking through. It just seems like it could be an easy an easy way to, if she's going to bring somebody mistakenly out, who better? Like, we've never seen him. Let's get some of those old school vibes.
Mm-hmm.
High Republic, Old Republic. But yeah, he's got a Mandalorian look to him to me. Either that
The
or
other
like,
thing I'm curious is, like, they're I don't know if they have finished effects in this, but I want to know if his blade's flat. More flat than a normal blade. If it's truly a broadsword style.
We have
it looks cylindrical.
Yeah.
to prepare for the worst.
Yep.
Yeah, you see the gold ring?
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they have generators down there to keep the lights on, you know?
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, she's got that same armor, my guy.
So I just looked up the broad saber or whatever just on Wikipedia. It says broad sabers were typically not popular among members of the Jedi Order, with many Jedi masters believing it was less elegant than standard lightsabers. Despite this, broad sabers were well suited for Form 1 techniques. I'm not sure what really Form 1 is.
The Jedi fell a long time ago. There aren't many left.
Ezra.
Was that Ezra?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a hologram of Ezra.
Right there.
Right there.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like
Kind of looked like he had a saber.
The Inquisitors are back too.
Right there.
Kind of looks like he has a saber right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's season 4 Ezra. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That looks like him before he gave his
old
saber
image.
up. Yeah, that's old image.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like the last message he left before he left.
Now, wasn't there footage like in the last trailer of Sabine with actual short hair? Looking at the painting.
No, those were just leaked photos.
No, it was part of the trailer though.
In front of the mural?
Yeah.
We don't know that she doesn't cut it before they leave.
True.
Man. All right.
True.
You know?
There aren't many left.
Okay. So that's an
I thought
Inquisitor.
I thought I knew who this Inquisitor was because of the right there, the sideways vents across the front of the face. But I think that Inquisitor is the one that their blade gets malfunctioned, and when they try to fly and run from Maul, they fall off the pyramid.
But the
Clone Wars
sixth
episode.
Yeah.
I don't think they're named.
Oh, that does look like him.
Yeah, but it's definitely different. It's a little different. So,
oh no, that's definitely the eighth brother.
And they have the cylindrical handle. Like it's definitely a spinning saber.
That means like, why would we need a flashback to see what happened to him though?
We wouldn't. He would just be back on the hunt.
Oh, you're saying he survived?
Yeah, I mean, Jedi survive by force pushing before they land. Why can't
That's
he?
what I thought. I was like, maybe he saved himself.
He could save himself. Ahsoka did. She fell.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Mace Windu?
Somebody ordering that Inquisitor. That's what I'm curious about.
What is that?
Like, does that Inquisitor still have connections to Vader and shit, or?
Well, that's my question. Is Vader dead? Vader's dead at this point.
Vader, unless he's alive.
So who's he following? Is what I'm saying. Like, just his own path.
Oh, he's following Revo.
So this is on Lothal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
my
guy.
You can see the buildings.
David.
And that's my guy. That's my sabersmith.
Doctor Who.
That's the sabersmith, right? That's our guy that trained 1,000 generations on how to build their sabers. That's exactly what he said, right? In that episode. This again takes me back to a Tar Vizsla reference. 1,000 years I've been helping Jedi create their lightsabers. Who better than to potentially have taught Tar Vizsla how to make the Darksaber out of Beskar? Something unique to him, much like Genji picked a wooden framed saber. Seems to me like this could be another entrance into who is this? Who does this saber belong to? You know? And then he has a reference. To me, that just seems...
What's the time period of her losing her sabers and getting the white sabers?
I mean, that was a...
This is way before all this?
No, that was way before all this. She got her white sabers before we see her in Rebels. So that she got her white sabers basically.
I was wondering if he was talking about sabers specifically. Like maybe it's time to get some new.
No, I mean, no, because this. I feel like seeing this dude. We need some saber history.
Yeah,
right. I need some. Hey, I'm glad you survived the Empire. Thank goodness. You're good. You're a good teacher. You taught me a couple times how to make some sabers. Thank you. Show me some old sabers. Let's go back to the beginning. Show me some old sabers here, my friend. And then he busts out some holograms of some old shit. She's like, whose is this guy? Whose is this? This one right here. Whose is this? And then he's going to be able to give us some background on who that guy is. I'm telling you,
I actually like that.
That's 100%. Like that. Why else would you put this guy in a trailer in an Ahsoka show? Yes, they have a connection. We saw him a couple times throughout the series, but why else would you put this guy in an Ahsoka series?
Also, where the heck has he been?
Again, great story. How the hell did you survive? No one had to build sabers. How Palpatine lets you live, you non-force having droid. But I mean, yo, did he power down somewhere and she found him? They found him. You know what I mean? Did he power down in on some ship that landed somewhere that the ghost crew found? I mean, we don't know. There's all kinds of speculation on where this could be. But my thing is, I mean, yes, I could see this storyline absolutely panning out.
Probably
like that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But I just feel like he is more useful than just being a sabersmith in this show as a cameo, as a nostalgic bone to hit. Right. This to me directly feels like an information gathering opportunity. You've helped.
sure, but after that, I like to see him be a part of either Cal or Ray's.
Sure, skeleton crew.
Yeah.
Cal's kind of got his sabersmithing techniques down by now. Next generation Luke Temple, maybe. No, I'm talking about Tar Vizsla, like the first Mandalorian that had the dark saber. That's what I'm talking, not Bo-Katan's old man. But yeah, for me, that feels like this droid is here to say, oh, this was the saber, and then you pull it up and dissect it, and you see who this is. To me, this dude feels ancient. Like you were saying, maybe opening that temple unlocked his cage. Him and his apprentice's cage.
That's what I think. They've been down there trying to figure that thing out.
It's got that Survivor feel to it, right? Locked in for a millennia. But this dude has me thinking we're gonna get some information out of him, because he's seen every lightsaber that the Jedi Council ever made. Unless they made stuff on their own. Like the first lightsaber that they ever made as a Padawan, this dude was there for a millennia. Like, it screams information. All right, let's see what else.
Begin again. Perhaps it is time to begin again.
Maybe he was talking about the Jedi Order.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Maybe it's time to. Maybe that's a Luke Skywalker reference.
Oh no, Palpatine is here. Don't let him in.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Somehow he's returned.
Has returned.
I thought we were rid of him.
Chat, like, what the hell are they talking about?
We threw him down the exhaust chamber. How did he return?
Oh no, the
Project
Palpatines
Cinder.
are taking over.
There are two of them. Oh no, we can't have that view. That's stupid. Okay, we're down.
Hey.
Okay. So what up, my guy?
How's it going?
We're just getting started, dude. We've literally just been on the Ahsoka trailer. We haven't talked about any of the other fun stuff yet. So we're still on the Ahsoka trailer. Yeah, so it seems like, could that be, a Luke Skywalker reference? Could that be Ahsoka, saying I'm no Jedi again, re-solidifying her famous one-liner, and ushering him to Luke's new temple, because she knows that Luke's got his temple going on with a young Grogu, or potentially now a young Ben Solo, being his all roads lead to Rey. So welcome to the party, my friends. All roads lead to Rey. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. I can get behind it. This is yeah, this is great. This is Dave at his best. Sorry.
All right, Sheev. So what I want to talk about is the Stargate of it all, and how those two are down there doing research. They got the lights in the background. They're trying to figure out the world between worlds, right?
What the fuck?
You talking about the
Balin and Shin. When we see them, and you can see all the
Darksiders.
constellations in the background, they have equipment down there and like rigging of lights, so that like there's always lights on. It's like 24/7. They're down there trying to. That's what I think. It looks like an excavation site.
Yes.
Like they've dusted off the floor, and you know what I mean. Like,
yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. I thought it looked like the world between worlds in the background. I don't know if that's exactly what it is, or if it's a Jedi temple, a Sith temple. To me, it's like maybe that's a Sith temple, even if it's not the world between worlds, which like it didn't have the like paths of the world between worlds.
I don't think
but
it's
it had
the world
like the
between
star
worlds.
charts.
That's definitely a temple. That's definitely another world between worlds temple.
It's definitely for sure because you got the thing in the
That's
Ahsoka
also the same
background.
kind of room that Ezra had already been in Rebels.
Yo,
right?
With
Dude,
Yoda?
Yeah.
Skeleton Crew
Yeah.
just got a lot
So,
more interesting.
here, I'm
'Cause
gonna
I might
bring it
have
up.
to.
we
I might have
lost
to look
one
something up.
a
I'm
Jedi.
gonna
I gotta
bring it
look
up right
something.
now. But yes, I think a big part of that room in particular. I'm gonna pull up the Rebel scene right now with Yoda, but I feel like that right there is exactly what I'm talking about. Like this is all gonna tie together. This is all gonna be very remnant of Rebels, a lot of continuation on Rebels timelines and stories, right? Because when Ezra starts, okay, here it is. Look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is it. I mean, it's not going to be the Lothal Temple because we know the Lothal Temple is gone at this point. But if you let's go to share my screen for you guys. There we go. Share that screen. Okay, so here is Ezra in the temple when he gets his saber crystal. And if you look at the map, it's very much the same. The floor is identical until I mean that's very similar to the room that they're in.
This is on Lothal.
This is a Lothal temple when Ezra went to get his kyber crystal.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Has a very the same feel, same room, right? I'll pull up another so we can go.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Right. I mean, this is the same room. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is the same kind of room. Lothal was not the only temple that had the world between worlds mapped on it,
Exactly.
right? But this is just another temple that has the map to the world between worlds. So let me get to it. Where are you?
That's an interesting thought.
No, I mean, like we've always said, there's not just one entrance, right? It's not just the temple on Lothal is gone. That's it. We're
For
done.
sure. Yeah, Palpatine even was like kind of finding an entrance. He just couldn't get through.
Palpatine was trying to create his own entrance. That was the
Exactly.
key to Palpatine's trick. Is he was like, Ezra, show me the way, so I don't have to go find anything else, right? So, it feels. Yeah, let's go back there.
No, another thing I think it could be. I know it's probably World Between Worlds, but there was an Old Republic trailer with Malgus. I don't know if you guys remember seeing that trailer recently,
Okay.
where he leaves Padawan behind, but it's inside a temple and there's circular discs like rotating all around it, kind of like Kang's power cell in the end of that movie.
Right.
But it could just be like there could have been a Sith holocron down here. There could have been a Jedi holocron down here. Something with information.
So this is the room. This is the room they're in, right? And then you go over to the Ezra picture, and it feels the same. So for me, this is another entrance, another temple, much like the Lothal temple that had the whole Megillah in the temple. Here's a map. Here's how to get in. Here's your instruction manual. There's a fridge with some snacks over there if you get hungry. Like, here's everything you need to get into the world between worlds. But again, I feel like you have to have that. I mean, for lack of a word for our friends to mock, you got to have the secret sauce, right? You got to have the Ezra Bridger. So Ezra's the key.
Oh damn! Hold up.
And I just feel like this is more. I don't know. I just feel like they're so similar, right? The two rooms are so similar. The ground,
They definitely have a lot of the ground. I'm not sure. Like to me, the background like is darker in the Ezra scene. To like, if you really want to compare it, like
yeah, but there's
it
not
seems more like
floodlights in there.
spacey.
There's not floodlights in there like there are in this trailer, right? Like if you look in this trailer here, look, I'll show you.
Yeah, pull that back up.
If you look in this trailer here, there's floodlights right there. There's lasers or at least light emitters floating around. So I mean, there's lights in there. That's why it feels brighter when you're in the Ezra scene. You know, when we go here, it's very dark because he's the only dude in there.
Does Thrawn know about the world between worlds?
I mean,
because a lot of people are trying to say that these two are loyal to Thrawn and could be aligned with Thrawn.
Yeah,
why are they down there doing research, or why are they messing with the world between worlds if Thrawn has no idea what it is?
Well, I'm wondering if it possibly is Thrawn, and I will say it makes me wonder if the dude that was at the excavation site in Rebels maybe knew of Thrawn. He was very interested in art in a lot of the same ways that Thrawn is, or analyzing people's culture and art. So maybe that guy maybe relayed the message to Thrawn or talked to him about the world between worlds. Maybe even Palpatine had a discussion with him about it at some point. We don't really know how Thrawn would know about it, but
I mean, if you really want to break it down, Thrawn did have to have his people excavate the site to bring the temple on the ship for Palpatine.
That is true.
So there's an automatic, like, I don't ask a lot of questions, but if I had to excavate this site, he probably asked a couple of questions. So ultimately, Thrawn knew of the world between worlds, but again, the powers of the Force were an enigma to him, right? So it more feels like the rise of the Empire and the heir to the Empire being Thrawn feels more of the grand threat than these two Sith, right? I feel like they're separate threats. I don't feel like they're the same threat. I don't think one is necessarily working for the other. I think the Sith and Apprentice are hunting Jedi for whatever reason, or hunting Ahsoka in particular. Mm-hmm. And then Thrawn is the larger threat for the New Republic. So
wouldn't it be, this is literally just off the top, fellas, wouldn't it be crazy if these two were messing with the world between worlds down there post Ezra saving her and they heard that shit go down? And now they're like, I know exactly who you are. That's why we're here, and that's why we've stayed here.
Yeah, you guys are going off the rails with the theory.
Well, but I've always
if they were near that temple and had any portals open, they're looking through it just like Palpatine was.
I mean, that's not a bad theory in that, Palps was checking them out using Sith alchemy. I honestly don't know. I'm literally throwing food on the wall to see what sticks.
I don't want them to be fallen Jedi. I want them to have knowledge previous
have you seen
our council that we know of.
I'm going to say
yes, they are.
Yeah.
They are not.
They definitely are, dude. Go back
to
how
old their shit is that they're wearing.
This time, what I was going to say, from this time in this Jedi Order, I don't think they're from this Jedi Order, this fallen Jedi Order. Maybe the old.
It wouldn't
Jedi
explain
Order
why she's still a Padawan.
The Yoda was the only survivor of the old Jedi Order, just because their armor looks ratty as shit. It doesn't look Clone Wars nice, like Kanan's all smooth and nice and done. This stuff looks ratty.
Go off too much, Eve. I'm coming back.
Well, yeah, dude, but think about how long it's probably been since just Kanan.
I mean,
and you also go back, because I promise you, look at the blonde girl. She has a Jedi braid, one of the Padawan braids.
Oh yeah, she's definitely canon Mara Jade.
No, she's not canon Mara Jade.
Oh yeah,
she's.
I mean,
I think that the two of them are possibly fallen Jedi. I don't know how it exactly lines up, and maybe they did go through the world between worlds. Maybe they're Inquisitors that have,
well, we have to look at
some new empire.
We have to look at some facts. She has a braid. Let's start there.
Well, let's. Yes. I'll go to her.
Why has she not been converted to a Jedi Knight, etc.? Why is she still apprenticed to this guy? If she's still apprenticed to this guy, why is she carrying the blade, the braid still?
You can see her braid there.
Yeah, you can kind of see it there.
So why is she still rocking the braid?
Because she's
the other thing
has to be some form of Jedi. I think
we all kind of assume that they're Darksiders, and obviously they're fighting her and they have like red or orange lightsabers, but who knows? Maybe they think of themselves as like Jedi or something.
That's what I think.
Because it's orange lightsabers. It doesn't really mean they're Darksiders, at least in my opinion. When you compare that lightsaber to the one further down, that's a dual-sided one that looks more red, like
yes,
they're distinctively a different color for a reason.
Right. These don't have to be bled crystals. They could have just been a red.
Well, but we've already seen orange sabers in Fallen Order, so to have an orange saber isn't.
Well, what do you mean? Because you can create the variety of it? We have not seen this color.
We've seen orange sabers in Fallen Order, absolutely.
Not this color. Not this color.
Not this distinct orange.
Nah, dude. This color is for a reason. This color is for a very specific reason, I think. Everybody's talking about this goddamn color. We wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't different.
This guy.
It's like, is the dress blue and white or is it gold and brown? Like,
the thing is, it could just be the lighting of whatever room they're in too that makes it look a little bit different. I don't know. And maybe it is just cheap, but I don't think so. I think there is a distinct reason.
Yeah, I think so too. They're not normal. They're not what there's something we don't know. I think there's something we don't know.
What you don't know is that Jude Law is playing a Jedi in Skeleton Crew.
So you're talking about this scene here in the color of the saber.
Oh yeah, he's a monster through and through. He bled those crystals.
Yeah, whoever this guy is, he's probably an Inquisitor or something. Even his saber looks like an Inquisitor saber.
Oh, it is an Inquisitor saber, 100%, like no doubt.
I saw people speculating it's like the eighth brother or something like that. I don't know.
The one that fell,
we don't know,
the one that fell on Malachor, that his saber sparked and like he fell down. That's that's what it looks like.
Well, I will say to that point, Jedi. We all think Mace Windu could have survived the fall. If he could have, then that guy probably could have too. You know what I mean? Maybe he's not Mace Windu, but we know the Jedi are taught to use the Force to fall from far distance. That's taught in the books. That's taught in a lot of different mediums. So it's definitely possible that guy survived, and maybe he's here now in the Ahsoka show.
So what is he just brought back just to get killed by Ahsoka or information?
Yeah, maybe he's working with the Empire still. Even I don't know.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, their sabers do seem to have that different color look to it, more orange than red, so to speak. But I don't know, man. I just feel like it's their armor. Their armor looks old. Their gauntlets do maybe look similar to Jedi gauntlets. But yeah, he just, I don't know, man. Something about it just seems like his armor just seems old, right? The belt, they're not necessarily cloth. Like his isn't necessarily cloth. It's almost like leather, right? It almost looks like like an unrefined version of Anakin's armor.
Hi. Say hi. Whisker, say hi. Hey, guys. This guy's just
orange. Okay, let's see. So, you guys don't
what
think...
about like
hold on.
Imperial Knights?
Hold on.
Imperial Knights.
Let's stop this. Let's make this.
I think they're gonna pull from Legends.
Let's make this a one person. Oh, not
everybody talking about Jorah Sabayoth.
Okay. So now, like I said, could be wrong, but I just feel like. Okay.
Are you playing this right now?
I have it open, yes, because I wanted.
Okay, I see.
I wanted to. First of all, I haven't played in a long time, so I'm like, oh, what's going on here?
I will say real quick that the little pad that Cal rests on, that looks a lot like the Ahsoka logo too.
I'm just saying, like, could that be an old Cal Kestis? But look, okay, so you're telling me that this orange is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's like brighter. It's not as red either.
Yeah, the blades are 1,000% different.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's
Maybe it is an older Cal Kestis. That would be pretty freaking whack.
That's my theory, my guy. My theory is 100% that
I feel like they got to make it Cameron Monaghan if they're going to bring in Cal Kestis, though.
Right.
Not necessarily. If it's supposed to look, my two open theories right now are this: that's Old Man Kestis, right? Like Old Man Kestis, or that
he would be younger than Ahsoka, though.
Yeah, but we're not. I don't know we don't know what's happened to the man. You don't know his life.
Not to end your speculation. I'm just
you
trying
don't
to
know what he's been through.
True. Maybe he's been through to Tatooine, the Tatooine Suns
a couple times. Look what happened to maybe Dooku. He went old silver early. You don't know.
Obi-Wan's a better explanation.
There you go. Maybe he got electrocuted by Mace Windu. But look, I just feel like it's either Old Man Kestis, which is a stone, like that's ridiculous, or could this be? I feel like if we're gonna go world between worlds and things out of control and being places we shouldn't and doing things we shouldn't, potentially, if this is Old Republic time, could this be Tar Vizsla? That armor looks real Mandalorian to me, right? It's got that Mandalorian feel without a helmet. So, and he was a Jedi, so could that be his apprentice when he was a Jedi? I don't know, but I'm liking everything I'm seeing so far. And we've only talked about the Ahsoka trailer. We haven't talked about none of this other shit yet. So let's move on to some other shit for a little bit. We're gonna get back into that. I'm not done with that yet. But word on the street. I'm gonna. Which one is it? Which one? Wait. Was I right? I think I was. I think. Stop it. I think I was right. I think all roads lead to Rey. And we're getting the sequels to the sequels. And Daisy's coming back. Damn, girl. Things are getting spicy out there. I bet you the fandom is pissed. I bet you the sequel hating, Daisy, John Boyega hating, Ryan Johnson hating, Disney Star Wars hating content creators are legit losing their minds, right?
No, dude. Star Wars fans have never been in a better place. What are you talking about?
But my guy, I have been off the tube for days right now. So like I know not
the last thing you saw was the fandom uproar over episode 6 of The Mandalorian.
Oh my god, Jack Black and Lizzo.
Yo.
Right? That's the last thing I saw. I've been working.
Right.
Can't just be looking at my phone when I'm working. So all the time. So I intentionally stayed away from the Ahsoka trailer. I did a poll. I wanted to give the community the voice, so I waited. But I did see, people talking in Discord. It's hard to turn that off, and they were saying, we're getting a Ray Bay. We're getting Ray Bay movie, baby. Ray Bay movie, baby. So, yeah, I'm sure the fandom has been in fat ass uproar. Fully justified uproar. Okay, I can dig it. You can be mad.
You do you, bro.
But I happen to be like rolling like Scrooge McDuck in some money right now. That's how happy I am.
Because for the last 5 years.
Just because for the last 5 years, I haven't even been on YouTube for that long, but for the last 2 or 3 years, all I've been saying,
Lucasfilm is not going to retcon a $4 billion platform, a franchise that they have invested millions and millions and billions of dollars in. They are not going to sandbag that shit with a new cast. And
you just don't know, Obsession. They're gonna redo the original trilogy and just reset this whole thing.
That's what I've been hearing. That's what I've been hearing. So I'm sorry if I'm a little joyful in your sadness, my friends, because I've been saying it for years. I told you, X-Wing makes fun of me all the time. Strap in, boys and girls. Get your boobies and your whoobies and your seatbelts on. I've been telling you guys for years to sack up. And what did they do? They did exactly what I said they were going to do. They did exactly what I said they're going to do. They're going to expand on what they've done because they don't have choices in the matter. You can't waste money like that when Apple is looming to buy you. So,
good luck getting people to go see it, though.
Look, again, there's fans on both sides. As much, look, this is what I've heard.
We'll go see it. Let's be real. Even the people that want to hate on it will go see it to see it.
No! This is what I've heard for years. Years! If this show isn't right, I am out. I'm never watching Star Wars again. Cancel my Disney Plus. That's it. I'm not talking about it.
That's the shit I've been hearing for years, my guy. For years. That's the shit I've been hearing. I'm out. I'm not covering Star Wars no more, bro. I'm not doing it.
And where they at now?
Star Wars sucks, bro. I'm not doing it. I'm out. And where are you at? You're making clickbait. I'm not even gonna say clickbait. You're making your hateful Star Wars speech, which is fine. You can have your opinion. You have your voice. It's your voice. It's your channel. It's you do you. But it's negative. Right? That's it. It's negative. And if you're negative and a new viewer's coming in that's never experienced it and they're like, well, these guys are negative, then they go in negative, and then it's an ever-loving cycle, right? But if you try to find some positive out of it, maybe you give somebody a positive experience in their first time into it. And I'm not talking about anybody in particular. Just so you know, there's a lot of people hating from top to bottom on all things that are going on in the space. I can only name a few that don't literally crap on everything. So look, and again, have your opinions, do you. I am just a little more hopeful, and look, my hope pays off. Okay, so who's better suited? The people that are being negative about what's coming, or the people that are hopeful and getting their payoff? I feel like I'm getting paid off right now.
Well, look, there's a lot of, I've always said that there's lots of interesting things you can even do with the continuation of The Rise of Skywalker. And since this is like the Damon Lindelof movie, I was telling Sheev in his chat that from what I remember before he got dipped was that the movie, like the sequel characters are going to be in it, but they're not the leads. So like the two leads are supposed to be people of color. One of them is played by Brian T. Henry. He's the male. And then there's going to be a lead person of color who's also female. And I'm thinking that these are about Rey's students who might be trying to track her down because she's lost somewhere. Like, I think the trade might have gotten the part right about Rey rebuilding the order, but we don't exactly know where she's at with that, right? Like, she could be Super Saiyan for all we know. And this could be an entire new story with new characters. And
that's the idea. I mean, they did the same thing with the sequel trilogy. The sequel trilogy wasn't about Leia, Luke, and Han. They were just catalysts to tell this new story, right? Mm-hmm. They were the picked up crew. They weren't the stars of the show, right? Everybody was excited to see them, but ultimately the stars of the show were Daisy and John, right? Was Rey and Finn. And yeah, you got Kylo in there too, but those three were the main characters, not so much Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford and Carrie. Those weren't the stars of the movie. So I understand, everybody's upset. Well, I didn't get enough of this and I didn't get enough of that. And they used the characters wrong. Sure. Cool. I'm with you on some of those arguments. It could have been used in a way better
in a way better way. I totally agree with you, but they didn't. Right? And there's no
Now,
turning back.
they could still play a part in the thing in the culmination movie where they're still in their prime. You might see CGI Luke again, but
sure, I have no doubt.
You
I have
will
no
see
doubt in the
You'll see a
Mando
whole show, I'm sure.
movie, we're gonna see Luke in some aspect joining the fight. Right? If Din Djarin happens to die, that could be a good segue to Grogu going back with Luke.
There's a lot of Luke, man.
You know, there's a lot of room for Luke, but what I'm saying is that they're not going to rebrand with new characters. They're going to have, you know, Poe and Finn are the generals of the New Republic, you know, and then Daisy's made her school and she's doing her thing, and maybe Finn has force sensitivity and he ends up being one of the students. Cool story, whatever. I don't really care what they're the fact that number one, we're getting a Star Wars movie in 2025. That's what's exciting.
Hell yeah.
The fact that Dave Filoni could potentially lead the charge on that movie, that's very exciting, right? Especially what we're seeing out of him right now with Ahsoka, and that's just a trailer, right?
So I will butt in. I don't think the Dave Filoni movie will be the 2025 one. I'm kind of thinking it's the Mangold one that will be.
I'm just saying the fact that he's in the story group in a bigger way than he was during the sequels, right? They're all stories lead to one another. They've both said it, John, Dave, and the rest of the writing room. They're all on board with one another. There's one commonality that's happening here. There's not three different writers' room figuring out how do we get there, or what are we doing, or how do we do it. Dave learned from his predecessor. He's like, dude, I got a whiteboard. I got a room full of where we're going. This line leads to this, and this story is here, and we're putting in some stuff here or there. Look,
Go
ahead.
I just want, before we go too far away from the sequel stuff and Rey, for the people who are really just like in their feelings about it, all I can say is, how do you want it to get better if they do nothing? One, and I really forgot what my second point was because we went on to like so many different rants.
I don't know, but I love this thought.
But the Luke Skywalker stuff too, like, okay, so this is what I was gonna say. For one, the people who are disappointed with the sequels, it's not going to get better if they go away from those characters and do nothing. With Luke, I think that we are basically just Lucasfilm is basically just taking their time with where the CGI is at right now, because it's not at the level they want it to be at. I think we will get some of the best Luke Skywalker stuff we would have gotten out of this young Luke, and had they just jumped right into it with a Sebastian Stan recast, or Mark trying to play himself as a dumbed down, de-aged Luke, like, it would not have been the same. So patience, I think, is key for anything you want out of Luke. They're not there yet. Technology's not there yet, but they will be able to pull off a whole goddamn show with Luke doing everything we wanted him to do. And hopefully a young Ben Solo right there alongside him. Like, if you guys don't want that stuff, like, it's hype. I'm hyped on all that stuff.
It doesn't matter if they want it or not. You're getting it.
We are, I think.
If you watch it,
Battle of Jakku, like, we haven't even touched on Battle of Jakku.
If you watch it, then that's, you know, whether you actually watch it or not, that's completely up to the viewer. But I mean, ultimately, right now, you know, this stuff is happening, right? And everybody's, you know, this is what I keep saying about.
You've been heard loud and clear too. Lucasfilm gets it. Lucasfilm gets it, bro. Like, they get it.
Well, but this is what I've been
they want the full story. Like, fans have just been saying nothing was explained, so I feel like they're gonna do that. And if you don't like the explanation still, then I mean,
well, and this is also what I've been saying about, like, Gina, right? Circumstances change. There was a time when Daisy was like, I'm out. I'm not doing any more Star Wars. I'm out. And sometimes they come back.
But what would have been nice if they got an announcement of Daisy and John Boyega. I'm going to be the first to say that shit. If she comes back and there's a time jump and he's not involved, that's going to be a big strike. It's going to be another strike.
I would like to see
Ahmed Best, I think, is a prime example. Like, you're going to treat people differently now, and that's not okay. I don't think it's okay.
I don't really know if it's necessarily a money truck for Daisy. I think the conversation with the writers and the producers of now saying, look, we understand mistakes were made and we have taken measures to rectify the situation. your characters are not going to be unthought out. We understand that was not the case the last time you were here. So thank you for coming back, and let's do it better. I think that is more of the conversation. Yeah, look, not everything comes to fruition when you're working in television and movies. Not every show makes it out. I mean, if you look back, the Solo movie put the Kenobi and Boba Fett movies on the back burner for many years that then became TV shows. So again, everybody wants to put things on Kathleen. Kathleen is just the face and CEO of the company. She's the president of the company. So she's going to be there announcing stuff. John and Dave both came out recently and said she has nothing to do with what we're doing. We have control of our shows. She does not come in and nitpick. Everybody's like, oh, that's just for the media and that's just for the stores as well. You know what? I believe that they're being honest in that they're in control of what's going on right now. Kathleen is just the face. Yeah, I mean, I feel like for me, I'm over the Luke Skywalker backstory. I think I got it. I think we figured out where the farm boy was for a lot of years and what happened in his life. I don't really need a Tales of the Jedi after the sequels. I feel like they're going to have plenty of time to live action him. If you give me a Tales of the Jedi, I want something like a Tales of the Sith. You know, give me a young Palpatine little backstory. You know, give me something like that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of room.
All right.
Yeah,
well, head out. This damn casket on my nerves.
All right, my guy. We'll see you soon. Be safe.
Right. Peace out, Dan.
Peace out.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what Daisy's what her work is, what she's been doing, but yeah, I mean, look, I think everybody wants to blame Kathleen for everything that they don't like in Star Wars, and I think that's not really fair. Because I don't really think she's in as much as people think she's involved. She's not.
No, I watched a good 11-minute interview with her earlier today in my stream, and it really kind of explained it. Like, kind of gave her perspective too. It's ridiculous the picture these people try to paint of what Kathleen Kennedy means to Star Wars and things. Like, don't get me wrong, she means a lot to Star Wars. She's trying to make things happen. She's trying to find creatives that are willing to get dirty and make great Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, because to be honest, I don't think all the creators out there are. Like, it's a big task going into a Star Wars movie, especially with all the backlash from the fandom and different things. Like, don't get me wrong, you do it right, you're going to be loved forever by the fandom, like Dave Filoni is. You know what I mean? But not everyone is Dave Filoni, and not everyone was trained by George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, from day one to kind of become the next George Lucas. So it's hard to find creatives that are going to make the perfect Star Wars stuff, and they don't want to rush into it like they did with the sequels. So I feel like Kathy is kind of in this weird position where everybody either because of lies and things other creators have said, they think she's like somehow behind the creative decisions that happen in Lucasfilm, which is just absurd. She's the one that finds the creatives to make the decisions. Like, she for sure has input sometimes. Like, I think with the James Mangold movie, she even talked about how the two of them collaborated with Indiana Jones, which obviously that's coming out soon. And through that's how she kind of realized that he would be interested in doing a Star Wars movie, and he was up to the task of doing a Star Wars movie. And that's how she kind of finds her creators. It happened to be through Indiana Jones and different things, but that's her real job, is trying to produce these movies and find creators, find ways to make the movies better, and find people that are interested in getting into Star Wars and gonna make Star Wars great again. As dumb as that sounds.
All right, well, this is we're checking out Twitter, and we have here, let's see if this
love this.
Let's see if this looks, yes, it looks so much better with 3 people. Okay, so we have this from Kyle Katan. Now, I always I check out all of all the stuff comes out. And this symbol was on the floor of Luke's temple in Octu. We will eventually make our way here through the timeline that is currently being created for us by Dave Filoni and the rest of the gang. But we see this symbol on Luke's floor. And then we see this at Celebration this year. Thank you for taking photographs, Star Wars Celebration. And this is the Dawn of the Jedi. Now, we know this temple is old, right? We know that the old Jedi texts were secured there in an old tree. But I find it fascinating that they give us these timelines, which is great because it puts us in these two realms here. We know that the bad guy in Jedi Survivor comes from the High Republic. Could our friend in the Ahsoka show come from one of these two eras? Right? I really feel like that old man's armor is super old. So it feels like, could we see one of these two symbols coming up in the Ahsoka show in one of the World Between World temples potentially? But I like what I'm seeing here.
I think that, like, I kind of like what your thoughts are with that. To me, like, I don't know if we'll see the two of them throughout that. Like, it's definitely possible maybe they are from an earlier period and we're going to see them be brought through the World Between Worlds or something. I don't know if that's like the full case, but the whole like little Octu temple logo and having that be the Dawn of the Jedi kind of logo, that makes me think we are going to Octu and we're going to see kind of the creation of the Jedi Order and we're going to see all that kind of stuff. That's just, to me, that's like mind blowing.
What better place to end the Jedi
than where they began,
right? I mean, really, like it sounds dumb.
It's poetry, it rhymes.
But it's also some full circle shit, right? Like, without knowing, maybe Luke knew that's where the Jedi Order had to die, right? Where it was born. I mean, yeah, dude, it just feels like they are on such an interesting path right now. I mean, the boomerang back to the sequels without being in the sequels right now is really intriguing. The fact that this guy in Ahsoka could be related to potentially the Old Republic or the Dawn of the Jedi. We were just going over something we saw in Octu with our friend Luke Skywalker. Here you go. This was on the floor of the temple that Luke was at. Where'd he go? Scotty just left.
No, I'm here.
I know you are. I'm just joking. So this is from Octu.
Yes, sir. Jedi.
And then we get the Dawn of the Jedi is actually what the symbol at Celebration calls it. So I'm just saying.
And I got a shout out to my buddy Lord Vito, because the other day he shared with me an excerpt from Dawn of the Jedi, the Legends book. If you guys want to entertain, I'll read.
Sure.
Read for you a little bit here. It sounds dope, y'all. So this is literally just from Legends. I think it's just an overview of what the Dawn of the Jedi book was. On the planet Tython, the ancient Jedi, spelled Jedai, order was founded. And at the feet of its wise masters, Lenore Brock learned the mysteries and methods of the Force, and found her calling as one of the most powerful one of its most powerful disciples. But as strongly as the Force flowed within Lenore and her parents, it remained absent in her brother, who grew to despise and shun the Jedi, and whose training in its ancient ways ended in tragedy. Now, from her solitary life as a ranger keeping order across the galaxy, I'm bad at her name. It's Lenore, has been summoned by the Jedi Council on a matter of utmost urgency. the leader of a fanatical cult obsessed with traveling beyond the reaches of known space, is bent upon opening a cosmic gateway using dreaded dark matter as the key, risking a cataclysmic reaction that will consume the entire star system. But more shocking to Lenore than even the prospect of total galactic annihilation is the decision of her Jedi masters to task her with the mission of preventing it, until a staggering revelation makes clear why she was chosen. The brilliant, dangerous madman she must track down and stop at any cost is the brother whose death she has long grieved and whose life she must now fear. So, like, if they go anywhere with like the first Force users being siblings and somewhere down that path, like, I'm just hyped for them showing the first person to discover their, like, you are literally the chosen one, like the first person to ever have the Force call out to them or something.
Yeah,
it's dope.
That'd be cool.
I'm hyped.
It's very
sorry about my tragic reading.
No, you're good, bro. I mean, really, it comes down to, you know, they have a lot of time that they can cover. We don't have to live in this space that you know, the Skywalker's timeline.
It's something for everybody, really.
We can evolve past that or before that. So yeah, I mean, it just feels like this is a time when they could potentially be using these shows to also launch other platforms, right? Well, I want to know more about that guy and that apprentice, right? I mean, if those sabers look orange to me, that's very much Jedi Survivor coloring, because I'd never really seen an orange saber before Survivor. And so for me, that was like the first time I'd seen it. I'd seen yellow, obviously blue, green, red, purple from Mace Windu, but I'd never seen an orange saber before Survivor anywhere. And so for me, that's kind of the launching platform for this, right? Is it, you know, could orange sabers not necessarily be, like you're saying, Sith? That young woman could be, they could be old school Jedi. They could be Mandalorian Jedi, which would be even more fun. People that make their own armor at a Beskar, that could be a lot of fun. I'm open to it and I'm excited about it. The connections to Rebels, I'm loving in that trailer. Hera looks great. Sabine looks great. Chopper looks fantastic. I'm more concerned about him than anybody else. We've already seen live action Zeb. It seems like their creature department is on point right now. And I'm loving everything I'm seeing. And this gives me hope for what we have coming. Right?
Yeah.
The stuff that's coming. I mean, Skeleton Crew, we haven't seen any trailers for that yet, right? We haven't seen anything at Celebration.
Well, so there was a trailer, but it was like an Celebration exclusive. It's leaked out there somewhere online. There were trailers for Andor season 2, Acolyte, and for Skeleton Crew, and all three of them were Celebration exclusives, if you will. I did see the Andor and Acolyte one. Still haven't seen the Skeleton Crew one all the way through, but the Acolyte one is freaking.
I did catch a glimpse of some of the Acolyte stuff, and it was like there were younglings.
There was
like a class of younglings. What's his name's training them?
Yeah, I was trying to think of his name too. I didn't want
Short
to
Route.
it.
I'm just gonna call him Short Route because that's how I know him from Indiana. When he played Indy. Oh no, it's the guy from my bad.
I almost called it
Hunger
Games.
Crab
Squid
Game.
Games.
Squid, yeah.
That's hilarious,
bro. I watch a lot of Star Wars chat. I don't know.
Yeah, but
that guy, you know who we're talking about.
God, why can't I remember his name right now? I mean, it is. I can't remember it.
Yeah,
right
that
now.
guy. Squid Game. Anyway.
God,
he is a Jedi, right? Training these little kids.
Yeah, I called freaking Mina Masad or Iman Esfandi Mina Masad earlier, so you know.
Yo,
that's how today's going.
Talk about the Acolyte at all? Have we gone in on it at all tonight?
I don't think so, dude. I'm down to talk about it. I really
Jonas is playing a Jedi Wookiee.
Yes, I don't know if it's Buryaga, but I don't think it is.
Different guy. It's a different guy, actually. So we have multiple Jedi Wookiees in the High Republic, y'all. I'm just saying. And just to clarify for people, because there is confusion out there, this takes place at the end of the High Republic. So we're only 200 years previous to episode 1. This is not even really going to show the Jedi at the height of High Republic. It's not going to look like High Republic stuff. It's going to look like that period in between. And it's going to focus on how the Jedi went from High Republic Jedi to this Jedi Council, smaller trusted council on Coruscant. It's gonna answer a lot of those questions, and that's what I'm most hyped about, dude. Amandla
Stenberg.
She played Rue in the Hunger Games. I don't know if people remember that character. That character was MVP of that entire trilogy, bro. When she passed away, she was the little girl from like District whatever that befriended her.
I thought that was the sister.
Her brother died, and then Katniss befriended her. She was the young kid that got killed. She put all the flowers around her grave, and it was like super emotional. This is her all grown up, bro. She gets the call, right? Immediately starts going to wushu or wusheng training at a local gym to learn the fighting style that she will be using in the show. She told people on set, and this is just what I learned today, she told people on set that she was thinking about cosplaying as Padme at Celebration. The Lucasfilm design team made that shit she wore at Celebration. I don't know if anybody saw that, but bro, it was fire. It was like fully form-fitted Padme.
Who we talking about?
Amandla, the lead for
Stenberg, who
plays lead for the Acolyte.
The Acolyte. Yes.
She's gonna slay, bro. She's gonna slay.
Was there a trailer for that out also?
Not out, but
we were just talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, so there's a trailer for it that was Celebration exclusive. I saw it. If I can find it again, I'll try to record it and share it out there on my Discord or something. But
exclusives.
My main takeaways is there's scenes with the guy from Squid Game. He's talking to a bunch of Padawans about the Force, etc., etc. And then it shows a hooded character.
Was he talking in English? I couldn't tell.
I think so.
Okay, because I know he probably can speak a little English, but he was.
Oh, you're right.
He was speaking Korean. Then, yeah, he had I think he was speaking Korean right up on the Celebration live stage.
Yeah,
he talked about how exciting it was to be in Star Wars and just the fact that like he probably wouldn't have come to America to do like an American show. Except for the fact that it was Star Wars. How do you say no to Star Wars? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I almost was hoping that they would keep him like speaking Korean or something, so that like it almost would just give more vibe to what we're watching, and just have the subtitles underneath. I think that would be totally badass, especially like an earlier portion of the timeline having like something other than just basic.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. If he was from another system that spoke like an alien basic or something.
Yeah.
The only other clip that was there was a hooded character walking up to Trinity. I can't ever remember that actress's name. But she's just sitting in a little like cantina bar, and they have a quick little hand-to-hand back and forth where it ends with her force pushing her back, and she's a little slide, and then that's all they show. So it looks cool.
Was this week?
Yes, this is what everybody wanted us to watch.
This was either yesterday or the day before.
It's only like 14 seconds. I didn't get the whole interview. It's just tweeter.
Why did you decide it was time to take on a feature?
I think the story just escalated to the point where John and I were talking about it, and we've had a plan for a while, and I think that I've learned.
Nice, Twitter. Good job, guy.
Very good, Twitter. So this is exciting, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's excited about
Lars.
Now
Nicholson, yeah.
Talk about backing up a money truck. They got him blue and red eyes. Like,
are we worried about this at all? I mean, let's be real, let's be honest, let's be true. Are we worried about this at all? Is there going to be any makeuping issues with him doing it, being as it was an animated
show?
I'm not worried. And,
Edgar, your skin's falling off. Is that what you're talking about? Like, He's not tight enough to be a chiss. Like, what are
Hey,
you talking about?
I'm just saying, like, are we worried?
He's
at
worried
all?
about what's it called? The Grand Inquisitor kind of effect. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
fans
yeah,
not
yeah.
that's what
thinking
I'm
he looks
saying.
as
Like, they got
good
to
as they
smooth his
want.
skin out.
I'm not worried, man. After seeing Zeb, I'm not really that worried. I know turning a person blue might seem a little difficult to perfect. Maybe I don't know. I'm not sure how difficult it exactly would be. But I don't think we should be that worried about it. From the little glimpse, because there was a leaked picture out online already. I've seen a glimpse of his face. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Well, we'll see when the final product comes along, right?
So I heard she
Oh,
got
Daisy,
no
how
applause.
Sith of you to wear red. Weird.
I heard she got no applause. Am I wrong?
Obsession. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet, bro.
I heard on the internet. I read on the
Old
internet
enough to know better.
that Daisy got no applause.
No, that's a standing ovation, bro.
It seems like the fans are pretty happy to me. They're just
paid actors. Paid actors.
Paid actors. Gaslighting. Yeah, I'm just literally trolling Twitter to find.
Don't troll too hard
right now.
You can scroll through my angry tweets. It's okay.
I'm pushing past them. Don't worry. I'm actually gonna go to. Let's go over to YouTube's. Let's go over to ING.
Everyone's saying that the interviews we gotta.
Yeah, I'm looking them up right now. So what were they? The ING or IGN interviews?
Apparently, there's like an 11-minute KK interview too.
Okay. So
I hope she slayed that interview. I am so sick. I just want to be like Will Smith. Keep KK's name out your fucking mouth. Like
she slayed that interview.
Blame somebody else, bro. Like just blame somebody else. Like, God damn it. It's so tiring. And people aren't out here blaming Feige. Who's got their pitchforks out for Feige phase 4?
Oh, yes, they are.
Good, they should be.
Not like they do for her, bro.
He's ruining
100%.
Marvel.
No, here at Star Wars Celebration, we just got out of the Lucasfilm studio panel where so much was announced, and I'm here with two men who are very important to Star Wars, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, and I want to address the big news of the day for you, Dave. You're directing a movie. So why did you? Yeah.
Got a sport jacket.
Why did you decide
I feel
it was time
underdressed.
to take on a feature?
Brand new hat.
I think the story just escalated to the point where John and I were talking about it, and we've had a plan for a while, and I think that I've learned so much, and it's something that I'm very eager to try. I've really enjoyed working in live action, and teamed up with John and Kathy. It's such a great place to hone your skills, and it just seems like the next logical step. The story also, I think, is, like I said, grown to a point that we want to expand a bit and do a little bit of a bigger thing than we've been doing on our streaming shows, and it just presents a different structure than episodic series, making a film. So I'm looking forward to the challenge of it, and still partnered with this guy. So we're, it's going to be hopefully the same brand of excitement that people are used to from what we've been making.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we actually talked to Kathy earlier, and she said, something about, this has been in the making for you for 6 or 7 years. Yeah. Is this something that you had in mind from the beginning?
I think in certain ways, yes, but it's definitely developed out of the stories we've been doing.
We knew the story would culminate. You have little culminations that come with each season. You have characters and things that.
I just want to say, IGN, hire me to do these interviews next time. I'll make them sound way better.
Thread in and out. But eventually, especially with multiple seasons, multiple series happening in the same time frame, and you're dealing with characters, especially on Ahsoka.
I thought it was just my computer earlier when I was trying to play it, but
no,
for clearing that up.
It's actually really bad. I'm having a hard time with it myself just because it's not balanced at all. It's really rough. Star Wars Celebration 2025. Hire me to do all your breakout rooms, please. I beg of you. Yeah, okay.
From a ground level perspective, and if you're catching glimpses of characters,
IGN hit his line.
You're kind of seeing it through the eyes of somebody who doesn't really have a lot of context.
Got a company.
But in the case of Ahsoka is a character who's been around long before her appearance on The Mandalorian, and also as we're dealing with Bo-Katan, these are characters that there's a lot of political implications to what's happening in the meta narrative in Star Wars, and those characters.
It's almost like these guys know what they're doing.
And these storylines start to demand that you're starting to deal with larger forces and bigger trends within that time period. So at a certain point, the rubber's going to hit the road in many ways, and the fact that now audiences will accept a permeability between media, which I think has been, as you see with the Star Wars films and with the Marvel films, like there's a lot of audiences are very sophisticated.
Maria, she's wearing a lav or
and
something.
If they're invested in the characters and the stories,
it's something's awry.
Tell types of stories in one medium that you can't with the other. There are certain limitations you have with cinema because we're very, we have a lot.
He sounds off axis.
Narrative structure to deal with the amount of minutes that we do each season.
Guys, I'm trying to listen. Please.
But with a movie, you have to make sure that it all kind of comes to a head and resolves in that, in that 2 hour and a half period.
Yeah, so we've talked about Mandalorian and Ahsoka and, how all these shows kind of intersect. And you did mention that this will take place during the Mandalorian timeline. So could this be kind of considered almost like a Mandalorian finale, the movie?
I don't know if I'd call it that as such. I think of the time period now as the New Republic time period. And it's something that has existed long before we were ever making The Mandalorian. The idea that after Return of the Jedi, there was a New Republic and that the heroes still had to defend that Republic from, the remnant empire is a very old idea that we brought into the first season of Mandalorian because it's what was always there. So as we've gone along, I keep a very large diagram whiteboard timeline of all the things. And as we build story, I show John, I'm like, if we do this, it's almost like a crime scene. We could lead to this, and then that could mean we could do this. And he said, well, what about this? I'm like, yes, well, let's put that up there. And so a lot of times I've been posted. So
wait, what? They have full control of the story? What?
Because we have to keep checking in.
Tell me more, is it written on the floor?
Damn.
Between our shows too, as I'm watching and
I'm dead.
Looking at scripts, sometimes it's not as obvious in the script until you start to see it, and then things.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
I got more.
Writing process always continues all the way till you're done.
Yeah.
Delivered, because you always have insights that the story tells you, and so as we're laying the stuff out, because then we have what exists in canon, and we also have stuff we love to pull in from extended universe, legends.
Stop
it right there, you son of a bitch!
Wait, you mean Old Republic?
You and legends, you sack of monkey
dick.
There are certain stories and characters that people have connected very, very much with over the years that might not officially be part of what is considered official Star Wars, but because it's so much a part of the Star Wars community, and as Dave did with Clone Wars, bringing those elements in, and because they already feel like they're running parallel to it, and if you could bring it in a way that's elegant and can incorporate everything, and again, trying to bring together Star Wars as much as we can, and make it all.
This is all Kathleen's fault. I don't know if you guys knew this, but putting these two assholes together, that was all your fault, Kathleen.
Oh yeah, she did hire Favreau. Shit, I forgot. It is her fault. Everything.
It's all her fault.
A line that feels satisfying and decisive.
Mm-hmm. And kind of on that note of like bringing all together these characters from all these different media, in the Mandalorian clip that we saw in the panel, there was a mention of Thrawn, who we know is going to be very important to Ahsoka. So can we expect Mandalorian season 3 to basically lead right into Ahsoka season 1?
Dave, is that what we could expect?
No, I would say no. I don't think so.
I would say no. I don't think so.
Yeah, go back.
Know is going to be very important to Ahsoka. So can we expect Mandalorian season 3 to basically lead right into Ahsoka season 1?
Yeah, Dave, is that what we could expect?
No, I would say no. But I don't think so. I wouldn't look
John,
at it that way.
Yeah, tell him.
As much as these shows are tangential to one another and in the same time period, I think it's important that
Go ahead, Dave. You fuck it up. I'm not doing it. It's not on me. You do it.
I love how when John talking, Dave is like laughing and like almost has this face of like, oh, kind of thing. And then
I saw Dave do it a couple of times too. They're like watching every word they say, so they know how to answer the next question.
Look, they whiteboarded this interview. I don't know if you guys knew that. They literally whiteboarded. Okay, if she
He's like, okay, if she asks this, you answer that. Then the next time I'm gonna answer this.
Yes. Oh hell yeah! They practiced. They had people come
What in
in.
the inception is going on
As
right
much
now?
as these shows are tangential to one another and in the same time period, I think it's important that you can watch them of their own, but they build if you know. So in the same
even
way
there,
that
his
if
voice
you've
like almost
seen
cracked
the
there when
episode
he's like of
Jedi
their
and
own, because
Mandalorian,
he's like, you should watch all the other ones. Like, I think that's what is in his mind. Like, you should watch all the other ones. But then he's like, but also like this should be a jumping point where like if you dive into the Mandalorian season 1 or 3 or whatever the case is, if you dive into a Star Wars story, you should be able to enjoy it without knowing the full context of everything in Star Wars. But then at the same time, it should make you want to go, I want to see all of this other stuff to see, like, you know, the fun of that this is, you know what I mean? Like, can catch
Listen,
up with all
man.
the nerds like us.
I hard disagree. My least favorite statement from Star Wars fans is, I shouldn't have to read all this ancillary material to understand. No, you should, bro. This pause. This
Listen to
IP,
what he says, though.
This IP is different than all this other Marvel bullshit, bro. There's a through line and a continuity from the beginning of the Force to the end of the Force. Go read the books. Go read the comics. Go watch the shit. If you want to enjoy it like I do, and you don't want to be some fucking miserable asshole on Twitter, like that's why you're miserable. I'm done being nice about it. You want the answers? They're writing them in the shit, bro. Just go read it, please. Sorry.
You're good.
But they build if you know. So in the same way that if you've seen the episode The Jedi and Mandalorian, then Ahsoka's going to make you're going to get a little bonus like, oh, I understand what's going on from the get-go. But you're still going to understand what's going on because we picked up A New Hope at episode 4, right? So Star Wars, to us, we came in the middle of it. So there is a kind of history in Star Wars is just diving right into the story. Yeah. So I really do dive right into the story with Ahsoka.
Wait. You can't. You're not.
You're not George Lucas. You know George Lucas like George Lucas. You are. You're not George Lucas.
That's my. I don't know if you've figured it out. That's my hater voice.
But I know more about it because of the work of Mandalorian. And it's, you know, it's the same as Skeleton Crew. We never want to create a situation where you feel like you have to have seen these things because then you're missing out. Like, I don't know how fans feel, but like, do you have to have seen Clone Wars to understand Ahsoka? No, you don't have to have seen that. Does it help when you know more and understand more? Sure. But it's not, if you haven't just...
So don't come crying to me if you don't understand the shit.
There.
Yeah, I mean...
Literally stop complaining to me that you don't like something if you haven't watched all the other shit I've watched. I'm done. I don't care. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, it's all about, I mean, if you're going to watch this stuff and you want to know more, there's already more. Just because it may not be in a medium you like, the information is there. That's why Disney puts out these nice you know, little pieces that are like Mandalorian lore, and it's an entire bar for you to check out just if you just want to catch up on that. I'm sure coming up they're going to have an entire section that's just Ahsoka backstory, which will be the entire Clone Wars, but whatever. It's, you know, do whatever you want.
You know,
well, that's the other thing. It's
a different world.
At this point, if you're behind, you're going to remain behind. That's all I'm saying.
And by the way, user-generated content where they're putting up their because I know when I watch a show, sometimes especially if a show hasn't been on for a year or more, you know, I'll watch recaps. There are certain YouTubers that I'll watch who walk me through it. In addition to
Pause.
Again, if you're a lazy piece of shit and you don't want to read 16 episodes of the comics, go on YouTube. Come back to me with a thoughtful, meaningful fucking thing to say about the canon, bro.
If you don't want to buy them, sure somebody has covered them. Oh wait, I covered them in excess.
Please.
But
you don't understand why Vader gave up on Padme, bro. Please
look,
come talk to me. There's a whole comic about why he did that and then started hunting Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like,
but we're gonna pause for a second. This is they're literally like John is saying exactly what I've been saying. They pay attention to what we're doing. Not necessarily me, because I'm like at the bottom of the slumlords, right? I'm at the bottom, but like these bigger channels with some of their theories and their breakdowns, they're paying attention to what's going on in the space. So I'm always going to pitch my Mace Windu Kenobi season 2. So Dave, John, if you're paying attention, if your assistants are paying
user generated content where they're putting up their because I know when I watch a show, sometimes especially if the show hasn't been on for a year or more, I'll watch recaps. There are certain YouTubers that I'll watch who will kind of walk me through it, in addition to content that's being put out by the networks or the studios that are doing it too. So I think the audiences are tremendously sophisticated now, but I think what Dave's saying is important. Is you should be able to just drop in, watch something. If I'm there with somebody who's never watched before and they just want to watch this series, we make sure that they can get it. But I think that there's always a sense that if I knew more, I would understand the context of that. And then we also have what happened previously on the shows too.
Speaking my language.
Contextualize what you're going to see.
Wait a minute. What does he know about storytelling?
I think, again, there are people who've been involved with Star Wars for so many decades.
What does he know about? Wait. You're saying that you expect people to understand
go back a little
Star Wars?
too. Come back. Go back a little.
I think, again, there are people who've been involved with Star Wars for so many decades, and you want them to benefit in the experience. You want to acknowledge what they've done and make it that if you've put that time in, that we're gonna respect that.
Yeah, and it's neat because now, hopefully if you like any one of these shows, you go, oh, this is relevant to that, and you get to enjoy more. Because I know when I was a kid, Clone Wars existed. When I saw New Hope, I'd have gone right and watched that because Obi-Wan Kenobi talks about it. And I was like, Dad, what is this? Why are you showing me episode 4? Where's 1, 2, and 3? And he's like, there isn't 1, 2, and 3. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, Dad. And so now we live in a world where those kids can get those answers immediately.
And they come in through different, we assume everybody saw the original trilogy first, but that's not the case anymore. A lot of people watch Clone Wars first. A lot of people watch, the prequels. It depends where you grew up. It's like music. So it all has to line up.
This thing too, bro, like
it's working.
I love that analogy to fucking music, man. Like I grew up in the 80s, but my parents, like, we weren't listening to Metallica and shit like that. I don't even like Metallica. They're one of the best rock bands ever to exist. Like, I'm a prequels kid. I grew up on the prequels. The OT's really not my go-to ever. I'm sorry.
Successful band. You don't have to say great, but I'd say successful is a more accurate term.
And Napster's greater.
Based on where you come in.
Those different groups of audience members,
something for everyone.
Something for everybody.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned the previously on because I've noticed those are so tailored to like the episode you're about to see, which I think is interesting. But
that's something.
Imagine that.
I learned a lot, like Game of Thrones. It would because they have so many storylines.
It keeps referencing Game of Thrones.
You want. It also creates an expectation around it. Like you start to anticipate, oh, who is this? What is this? And
I love the pin on Dave's hat.
Fulfills it. Sometimes it just goes.
What is it?
A whole completely different direction.
I love his shirt. It's a Celebration exclusive.
Yeah, and I kind of want to talk about more about that kind of interconnectivity. In the Book of Boba Fett, you had Din and Grogu make their big reunion in that show. So that was kind of a bold move at the time. Do you think,
how dare she talk about this little minx? How dare you talk about the biggest controversy in all of Boba Fett?
Do you think that's something you might do more of?
I think it was a very particular set of circumstances there where we were not on the air for 2 years. And that amount of time we wanted that amount of time to pass in the show, basically, give or take. And you also had the central dynamic of the show with those two characters, and that either of them alone were not going to be fulfilled. And so we got to play that out as a chapter in that book, and then we're able to come back into a dynamic where they could be rejoined together, which would allow for the storytelling. I don't know how I would have been able to tell stories about without those characters, having separate storylines for the two of them over a long time, showing both of them were not flourishing, that they were both in this imbalanced state. Because although it's interesting to watch the two of them alone, you definitely got the sense that they weren't doing as well as they could have been, that they were not, that this was not their destiny. And so it allowed us to allow a lot of that time to pass off.
Dave's face.
But also level up, change them both, but especially change Grogu.
Don't say too much, bro.
Had time spent training.
Yeah, before this too, when he was talking about the 2-year thing, Dave was like,
Why you gotta be so specific?
He's like, come on, man.
The relationship will develop in that.
Did you see the Twitter fiasco that made 2 months ago? Or like a month ago?
A lot of opportunity to not just keep repeating the same stories.
I love it.
And then also as things evolved in the galaxy around them. So it wasn't just the same adventure over and over again, but again, getting to plug into larger narratives that do connect with other shows as well.
Yeah, and I think you've been involved with Star Wars for a long time, but I think these past 3 to 4 years with the implementation of Disney Plus, I mean that was kind of the beginning of a new era for Star Wars, I would say. So what's the most important thing you both have learned from those past 3 to 4 years?
I mean, for me, there's
go back like a couple frames.
Managing this.
When two people are
I mean, that was kind of the beginning of a new era for.
When two people are like in a relationship for a really long time and you see them like sitting on the couch and they cross their legs the same way, look at their hands.
Star Wars, I would say. So
they're both just playing with the fingernails. Like they are the same person.
Those past 3 to 4 years.
I mean, for me, there's creatively, I think, managing the story and all these different characters, which I've been doing in Clone Wars, but it's just a little different in live action. It's also, behind the scenes, writing a story for this medium is different. Working with the performance is different. So on a personal level, it's been, exponential learning every time I do an episode or am helping guide other episodes, working with the other episode directors. I mean, again, the position I'm in, I get to watch so many.
Oh, commercial.
I love that they've been doing these for all the ads, though. Like, this has been popping up every time I click on the Celebration live streams, like everything. It's dope, man. I think tomorrow around
the creatives
5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Eastern, I think the official last trailer for Jedi Survivor is supposed to be dropping.
Yo, and was it brand new? The Tales from Galaxy's Edge VR? I saw that ad. Have you seen that shit?
Yeah, that game is a little older.
It's Tales from Galaxy's Edge, and you're on Batu.
It tells you the whole backstory of Batu.
Yeah,
that's kind of freaking cool.
It looks.
I wonder
like
if they'll.
It looks like you can customize your character. I think. Don't quote me. It was an ad on YouTube.
I came into it really. Our freshman class of directors, which were so great, and for many years now, I've worked alongside Rick and Bryce, and Deb went off and did Obi-Wan, but I still stay in touch with her, and so I think that there's been. I think people always look at the characters and the story, and it's true. You can see the growth there, and how now there are these different series which episodically take up a larger space, but we have so many more creatives now that are getting educated and experience on working in the galaxy far, far away. And I think that speaks very well to the future of everything we're doing. And you kind of see an outcome of that today where, look at the creative lineup we have, not just the stories they're telling, but like Leslie and then I've talked with her and her love of Star Wars, which is so exciting. It's so exciting to see people coming into this. So as it's evolved and changed, I think there's a confidence growing because people are getting to come in and do an episode. One episode and try an episode, right?
Yeah.
For me, doing an episode was infinitely easier to kind of absorb and understand than if I had to start doing a movie. In a lot of ways, I would think years ago I was trying to crack. So how do I take Ahsoka in live action, and it was going to be a movie? Because pretty much the only outlet for live action would have been cinematic.
Right.
But as streaming became available, you start to think, okay, so let me think of this episodically. Which for me made a lot more sense because I've been doing nothing but episodic for years. And, Mandalorian kind of opened this door to say live action episodic Star Wars television, which when I was a kid, I would have killed for that. I mean, I'd watch that every week. So it's really fulfilling something we like.
There's so much more room to experiment too with new filmmakers because Dave had never done live action before, and look at the learning curve. So
the stuff he
quickly
says about the people doing
from
animation
having that
now is
collaborative
dope.
environment, doing a few episodes here, also writing, me learning to write from him for Star Wars, and then you could try something different for an episode because if it fits within the context of the whole season, that's where you start to feel where you can go, and if there's an instinct, or if another filmmaker comes in, you know, Peyton Reed coming in for the finale of season 2, like, and the excitement that he had that he was going to get to tell this part of the story, or Robert Rodriguez bringing his energy and his brand of action and fun and excitement around the reintroduction of the character of Boba Fett in the series.
Recordings just got better.
Robbie Rod should have left it at that.
From StreamYard.
Never done
So
Boba
excited
Fett.
to announce that local recordings are now available on StreamYard.
Fail.
Have you ever done
Robbie
a
Rod.
recording?
0. Everybody else
And
1.
each one brings something different, and we're lucky that not only do we get to see it here at Star Wars Celebration, looking at a trailer for like Acolyte, for other, you know, for other, hearing about other shows that are coming together, like that's Andor. It's super exciting, but then also to be part of that collaborative group within this, you know, interconnected time period where we have all these filmmakers and different.
I hate to be the guy, but Robbie Rod didn't write it.
You know, you don't get, that's not, Dave's saying something that's very true, and somebody who comes from movies more so, is here's what we're making, here's how we're
whoever
do
sold it to
here's when
him
it's done
did a
by,
damn
here's
good
what
job.
our budget is, and sometimes
All
you're
killer,
right,
no
sometimes
filler.
you're wrong, but everything's on, all your chips are on one number.
Yeah.
With TV, you get to collaborate. You could take chances on different tones. You could take different chances on people who might be less experienced, but could also bring a lot to it. And so we've worked with a lot of people like yourself and Peter Ramsey come from animation who've completely enriched the way we approach storytelling because they come in with a very visual, front-loaded sense of how you're going to approach a story. Then you deal with somebody like Rick Famuyiwa, myself, Lee Isaac Chung, come more from more of the independent, we start off in lower budget films where you're coming at it more from what are you shooting and how do you put it together. You don't have that kind of planning. But you start to bring everybody together, and now we start to share the best of each, and we develop our own version of how it goes. And then the technologies that we, of course, from ILM, but also the stuff that I've been working on before then with Jungle Book and Lion King. And now all of a sudden you got a whole ecosystem around it, you know, where you're learning and developing techniques, and you're all checking on each other's stories and how it's being handled. And ultimately you have people like Dave or Doug Chang, who've been around for a long time with Star Wars, who you can go to and say, this seems fun, does this feel right? And it could be like, I'd stay away from that because that people are going to think that with that, they're going to connect with that. But you might want to look at this, whether
Or
it's
we're doing something like that over there.
Or we're doing something
Because
like
now we
that
have
over
certain things, you got to make sure everything's special and protect, you know,
That's
people's
it.
ideas and protect the
big deal.
uniqueness of things.
So that everybody feels that they have their room to do their thing. But
Meat and
but-
potato
Dave's been really
storytelling.
good about not stifling, but to say, hey, I see what you're doing. I don't know if that's how you do it, but you know, have you ever, or point you in a direction of other areas to look at? Or I remember, it's about ships too. I remember a ship from a video game or from like a role play. No, it'll be like there's something
shut up.
from there, and you might. That's a pretty cool one. And
Shut
and
up.
Also, what the relationship with the fans are with the stuff from all of those extended universe materials, and to the point that we had the Hasbro.
Just say ricotta one time.
Stormtrooper transport at the end of season
Oh,
1.
I know.
That was a toy.
Field
that
troop transport.
The troop transport. It was
Great
never.
toy.
It was a great toy that
That
was
sounds-
never something from the film, but it was just made.
It was
up.
in my mind.
Yeah.
And we
And
made it.
yours,
We brought it in, and those are the fun things we like to do, and we can do.
It's a good
and a lot
interview.
of it's because it's
Good
a
interview.
show. We could try things here and there and experiment.
I mean, that's
Running a
that's
business
what they're
keeps you
doing,
busy.
man. I mean, they're the guys right now. I mean, they're helming the ship. You know, they're barking the orders, dude. I think it's a great time to be a Star Wars fan.
Hell yeah.
I mean, unless you're mad at Star Wars, and then it's probably not a great time to be a Star Wars fan. But you know, hey, whatever works. Yeah, I'm surprised that I'm surprised
not really at anything that they said. They kind of solidified. I feel like this is like Saturday. This should be my Saturday celebration day, because the W's that are chalking up on my side of the scoreboard are starting to add up today. So I don't
And
know.
he's not shy about it, chat.
I'm
by
not
the way,
shy. I mean, look, I'm not shy about it at all. I'm gonna put some W's in the chat, just because I feel like there's a lot of W's that are chalking up. I mean, look at all these W's that I'm stacking up on my side of the board
hey
over there.
Nightbot, can you handle the spam? Mods.
So yeah, mods, don't worry about that spam. That's just me chalking up W's on the old W board. So I mean, look, he said everything that I've been saying for a long time. They're going in directions that I've been talking about for a long time. And I just feel like today's today's that day, like Johnny Drama, victory, baby. I mean, I feel like that's the way I feel today, because it's
Oh yeah, let's torment chilling in the basement with 11 minutes of KK.
Oh, just so happens.
Do it.
And we just got out of the Lucasfilm
I love you,
studio
bro.
panel where so much was announced, and we're
Ask and
joined
you
by
shall
none
receive.
other than Kathleen Kennedy herself. Kathleen, that was a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah. Couple of hours we were up there.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing. I've seen everything, obviously, but when you get it all together like that and put it in front of people, it's overwhelming.
Yeah,
She's talking about all of the symbols of the eras, I think.
To get a feature film,
because that's when she came out.
When did you both decide that it was time to make that jump for him?
It hasn't been something that we just decided. It's actually, I feel like it's been something we've been working toward, and he's been working toward for almost a decade.
Yeah.
So this is a very evolving process. Nothing happens, overnight, but it's really thrilling to see him take this step.
And as we all know, he's had such a big impact on the Star Wars universe and his characters.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me if it'll
talking about his movie
characters that we know and love or new ones?
Well, it will, because he's obviously taking all the work that he's been doing in animation and now in television with Jon Favreau, and he's moving some of those storylines into the feature space. So there's going to be a lot people will recognize.
Yeah, absolutely. And I imagine it might tie into some of the shows that we saw today.
That's the intention.
Yeah. And I also want to talk about James Mangold. Did you see his work on Indiana Jones 5 and think, all right, this guy needs a Star Wars?
Well, I've been following Jim for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, his work has been consistent.
They wanted him to do a Boba Fett movie when it was a movie.
Certainly
right.
When he did
That's right.
95,
the anthology.
It was clear that he's a real
he wrote a script.
and he loves movies, and he loves Star Wars. He always has. And he's constantly been in my ear, hey, maybe, and then he came up with this idea, and we sat down.
Good, you better get sleepy, because you got a 4 a.m. wake.
And Carrie and all of us.
I know, right?
And agreed that this would be a really good next step.
Yeah, and of course, it was so exciting to have Daisy back today. That was huge.
That's huge.
Yeah. So, what point in Rey's life are we going to rejoin her?
Well, we're 15 years out from Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
So we're kind of
which is
post-war,
crazy, bro. Like
that's pretty cool.
Jedi are in disarray.
Is it, Sheev?
Is it? Discussion around
I think it
who are
is.
the Jedi, what are they doing?
We can talk.
What's the state of the galaxy?
I'm here
she's
for it.
Attempting to rebuild the Jedi Order based on the books, based on what she promised Luke. So that's where we're going.
Yeah, and you mentioned Luke, and I think he almost seemed like almost a cautionary tale in the most recent trilogy. Will we see any of that play with Rey at all?
I don't know, as we'll spend a lot of time in flashbacks or Force Ghosts or things like that, but certainly the spirit of what he represents to her is going to be significant.
Wait, go
and
back.
As you mentioned, it's
talking about Ben Solo
after the Rise of Skywalker. So are the other two films? Do you see them more as standalone movies?
Oh yeah. What we're doing when we say standalone now, a lot of the storytelling, as you can see in the work that we've been doing in television, we started as a standalone idea and then it's grown. And I think the potential of that could happen in these different eras of the timeline. But I don't want to make a commitment to that until we really get into it and see
Super smart.
how it plays.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk a little bit more about that. I think the beginning of Disney
But
Plus
it'd be cool if you planned a trilogy in those time periods
for Star Wars. So what have you learned about putting out?
Everything she said in this interview, I think, was the right thing to say.
Kathleen said there were no Force Ghosts or flashbacks in the new movies, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. I heard it myself. just said we're not gonna do it.
Star Wars content in the past like 3-4 years.
I think it was huge, actually, almost by accident, because interestingly enough, it's a format in which George was inspired when he first did Star Wars, serialized storytelling. And so when we got into the television space and realized we had this kind of long form storytelling that we could get into, it was really conducive to Star Wars. And it's given us a lot of flexibility, opportunity to experiment. We knew we needed to introduce new characters, new storylines, and we could do that without the huge expectation of a movie. And now we're ready to move back into the movie space, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, and for all the movies that we did hear about today, we do know that there are some that have been shelved.
Well, they haven't been shelved. Most things haven't been shelved. Development is a complicated, long-term process.
What did she say?
We're dealing with scheduling because obviously really talented.
Back up the tape.
We're dealing with
Rewind.
Oh, please,
process
please.
shelved. Development is a complicated.
That there are some that have been shelved.
Well, they haven't been shelved.
Development is what?
I'm gonna track that. I'm gonna clip that. They haven't been shelved. They haven't been shelved. They haven't been shelved. They haven't been shelved.
Most things haven't been shelved. Development
Goddamn
is a
know-it-alls.
complicated, long-term process. Some people we're dealing with scheduling because obviously really talented people are working.
Ryan Johnson.
So it's often
sorry,
not
I just
a shelving. It's just, is it ready?
Patty?
That's
Patty
really
Jenkins?
what it comes down to.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about kind of
Taika?
projects like Rogue Squadron and Kevin Feige's project. So could those still see the
Well,
light of day?
Kevin Feige's project was something announced in the press.
Patty
or I
Jenkins,
should
go
say
back.
Fandom.
That part is.
often not
Hold
a
on, pause it real
shelving.
quick.
It's-
This whole part is massively important, and what so many fans freaking don't understand. They're like, "Oh, they canceled this project, that project." No, they didn't. It came out through the trades, and you guys just assumed it was an official announcement when it wasn't.
No,
It wasn't.
No, stop telling the truth.
Oh no!
No.
All right, let her spit.
Is it
She
ready?
got canceled by
That's
everybody.
really what it comes
Just
down
got
to.
canceled,
Yeah,
bro.
so I'm thinking about kind of projects
back,
like
though, a couple
Rogue
seconds,
Squadron.
please.
Yeah.
And
Because she says Rogue
Long-term
Squadron. I want to
process.
hear.
about today, we do know that there are some that have been shelved.
Well, they haven't been shelved. Most things haven't been shelved. Development is a complicated, long.
No, complicated. No, no, no.
No!
No.
So easy, you just make a movie.
It's so easy to make movies!
Long-term process. Some people we're dealing with scheduling because obviously really talented people are working. So we don't. It's often not a shelving. It's just, is it ready? That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about kind of projects like Rogue Squadron.
No one's ever really
and
gone,
Kevin
Chad.
Feige's project. So could those still see
well,
the light of day?
Kevin Feige's project was something announced in the press or I should say fandom, but there was nothing ever got developed.
Right.
We never discussed an idea. We did.
Just dunking on fans
everybody
right now, bro.
A huge Star Wars fan. And if he did come up with something, I would be all ears. But that's it's not an abandoned.
Right.
Dunk on him, Kathy.
Didn't happen.
Feige's
No,
too
Rogue
busy
Squadron.
fixing the MCU
Rogue
right now. Just
Squadron.
let him do his thing.
Yeah, bro. He
Destroying
just
the
lost
MCU
James
is more like
Gunn,
it
bro.
is,
He's
bro.
crying.
Destroying.
Is something that we still talk about.
Stop!
Whether
Don't
it's
hate on the
movie
MCU.
or whether it ends up being in the series.
Look, baby, I call a spade a spade.
Boo!
Fantastic. And we've talked a lot about movies, but I want to talk about the really exciting shows that we got a glimpse of today. So you have Ahsoka, you have Acolyte, you have Skeleton Crew. What do you hope each of these brings to your current
Kathy out
Star
here
Wars
with the
universe?
You know
window.
what we're seeing, and Dave talked a lot about this. We're seeing the opportunity for fans to find where their entry point is in Star Wars. There's a lot of things now going back almost 50 years.
Yeah.
So you don't want people to feel like they have to see everything in order to step into Star Wars. And we also want to look at the generational aspect of Star Wars. It's always been something that's been passed down. So something like Skeleton Crew, we're really excited about because, it's aimed at younger kids, but will still bring in the fans, still bring in adults. But that's an opportunity for a kid that, so many of us relate to, a kid that can step into Star Wars and make it their own. And I think that's the beauty of the storytelling that's going on now, is that everybody can kind of find where their entry point is.
And speaking of Skeleton Crew, I mean, that was so exciting to see all the directors laid out like that.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of made you want to take that approach with Skeleton Crew where you find so many different voices and put them in this one show?
You know, we've been doing that a lot. We did that with Ahsoka. We've been doing that with Mandalorian. There's a lot of different voices that come in. Obviously, John and Dave really structure what Mandalorian and Ahsoka is. But when we knew we had John Watts, and John Watts knows all of us, that kind of continuity was able to exist. And it's just great to bring in Star Wars fans who are also great directors. And they may have an idea here and there that shifts a point of view, and that's exciting. That's what we want.
And I was excited to see more of The Acolyte, which has been one of the more mysterious projects, but you said you've seen 4 episodes and you were blown away. So what about them blew you away?
Yo,
It is,
what?
Leslie,
4?
the storytelling.
It's done?
I was blown away by just the scale and the size. And as
It may not be done done CG, done with all that, but they may.
I didn't know it was that far along. When's it come out?
Mysterious projects, but you said you've seen 4 episodes and you were blown away. So what about them blew you away?
Leslie, her storytelling. I was
What? Somebody who doesn't know everything about Star Wars has a good Star Wars story? What? No.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Isn't
Leslie-
Leslie's the one that everybody hated on because
No, Leslie knows everything about Star Wars.
they
She
hated on
hired
her.
one writer out of a group of writers who didn't know anything, and everyone lost their mind.
Oh, I'm just saying. Come on, bro, work with me here.
No, I know.
Well,
I know.
Sheev, and she's also a part of Sheev. She's also a part of Alphabet Soup. So like people are scared. People are scared of that. She's LGBT, man. You can't have that in my Star Wars. That's literally what everybody was talking about.
She's doing some really
Shut the hell up, everybody else. Then that's what I think of that.
Star Wars.
Yeah, and then you have Ahsoka, which is, of course, taking such a beloved animation character and taking them into live action. Do you guys think that that's something you might do more of?
You know, I wouldn't do it without Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave created so much of what was in Clone Wars and Rebels, and that extension of that storytelling is something that's Dave's. And certainly working with him to try to evolve that into, whatever we do with live action, whether it's a series or whether we go into features, that's something we would do with him.
And you guys have really played with kind of like intersecting these shows. You've had like The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, and we had a Thrawn mention and Mandalorian just now. I mean, is that something you might play with more, or do you think these are going to be more standalone projects?
Well, that's really building toward what Dave's doing in the feature space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very intentionally.
And how far, going back to these movies, how far along are they in development?
We're pretty far along. These are things, there's, as you can imagine, certainly looking at what Dave's been doing with Ahsoka, that'll be at least 6-7 years building to what it is we're going to be doing in a movie. As far as Charmine, we've been working on that for a couple of years already. And with what Jim's doing, Jim and I, because we had the benefit of doing Indiana Jones together, there was a lot of discussion about what that story is. And so he's, what's great about Jim is he's a writer-director, much like Dave is. So he can move that along at a pretty fast pace. So everything.
Jim, who's Jim? Jim who? Are you muted? You're muted.
Let's talk about James Mangold.
Oh, okay.
Just Jim is another name for Jim.
Yeah,
James.
that's what they were talking about.
Really nice.
Oh yeah, Jimmy G.
Situation where we have all of these things ready to go and we can take our time figuring out when we make them.
Yeah, I mean, we'd like that. And I think, I think Star Wars is kind of a genre unto itself at this point. Are there any kind of genres, though, that you want to play more within Star Wars?
Well, I think we've been doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, George started that. So, specifically, we're looking at Westerns with what Mandalorian is. That Dave is very influenced by Kurosawa and Japanese films. And that, I would say that influences the tone of Ahsoka probably more than it does with Mandalorian. And then Amblin movies, Goonies, that kind of thing. Yeah. Those fun kid adventure stories, that's very much influencing Skeleton Crew. And then the spy thriller with Tony Gilroy and Andor was very much in the vein of, Bourne and the things that he's done. So very distinct genres.
No, you're so right. And I also want to ask about Donald Glover recently talked about the Lando series. Can you give us any update on that? Is it still happening?
I can just tell you it's still happening.
Yeah.
And he's very excited about it.
Clearly.
Yeah, he did an interview recently talking about it too.
There's any like major hope that you want to?
Guys, Donald Glover's been trying to break into the nerdy space for years. He wrote a Deadpool animated series that got denied too.
You know, it's as I said.
Really?
I think quality is always everything.
Okay.
You know, we want to tell resonating stories that really speak to what Star Wars is. I don't want it, and none of us want it, to become like everything else. We want it to be something that continues to live up to the expectation that fans have. And that's the most important
Shit's built different, guys. I'm not throwing shade at Marvel.
Thank
It's
you
just
so
built
much, Kathleen. That was so great.
Thank you.
Oh, it's built different for sure. I mean,
the continuity, most of all. Like,
well, yeah, it's
well, yeah, it has continuity. All these other ones have a multiverse. That's the main difference, and that's why the
but
lore
that is the
that's
that's the thing
that's
I
why the
love
lore is
about
taken so
Marvel is that
seriously.
is the continuity of Marvel is the fact that they have different continuities. That is the continuity of Marvel, which to me that's cool. But also, you're right. There's something special of having this Star Wars continuity that's all linear and you know, one solid.
It's like if the MCU
story.
was only the sacred timeline always. You know what I mean? It's like they have to hold this stuff to a higher regard, in my opinion.
Well, but look, I mean, ultimately it comes down to, you know, they have a lot of things to pull
The
from,
storytelling, I should say.
right? There's a lot of sources to pull from when we're talking about comic books and Heir to the Empire. I mean, was the first book I read when I was a kid, you know? I mean, so those kind of references, those kind of things that pull from the books, that, you know, that pull from the comics, all of this stuff, they have a lot of reference. So I understand everybody was upset about the decanonization of this or that, but ultimately that will end up being a good thing moving forward, because then these storytellers can pull from those specific
We're
genre.
gonna go back to those times. Exactly.
Again, yeah, it's all going to come back again. So yeah, I mean, look, this was a hopeful couple of days. You know, I didn't get to see all the trailers that we got to see. I mean, the Ahsoka trailer is fantastic. We'll see. Somebody said that the saber work looked clunky. You're seeing a trailer, you're not seeing the finished product. You know, these things change. Editing's not always finished. So I'm very
I think a lot of people think that the orangish red lightsabers are supposed to be like a bright red, but that's why I think they think it's, you know, lower quality saber stuff. But I honestly think that's a stylistic decision to make them that color. But what do I know?
well, again, and I feel like that's another pull.
So stylistic, as in not deliberate.
No,
As
like
in,
it is
stylistic,
like,
but it's a red bled lightsaber,
like a
just
reddish
normal?
orange. Or
You think
it's like
because it's
supposed to be that
something
color.
brand
You know what I
new?
mean? Like they're complaining that it doesn't
Something
look like a
brand new.
red lightsaber, but they don't understand that it's supposed to be that way. You know what I mean? And maybe it doesn't look like the same like digitally affected sabers, because I have heard people saying it looks like they just use the light up sabers in person and don't put any effects over it. And I'm like, I don't think that's like, I'm sure that they do use the regular old sabers now, but I still think that they do a little CGI enhancement or, you know, little touch ups on it to make it look.
So to
more
clarify,
like a
though,
lightsaber.
you think that these sabers are sabers we've never seen the type of before?
At least the coloring. I don't think
Okay.
we've seen the color in live action.
I agree. I don't think. Yeah, I agree. I think it's some brand new shit, dude.
I know
I'm
it's
hyped.
such a minute detail that doesn't even matter.
But it's purposeful, though. Like they put that in the Ahsoka trailer because they wanted us to talk about it.
Not only that, with Survivor coming, it's also a color that they've exclusively used in that game. So it's just another, you know, for all we know, that could be a call forward to what's coming with the game, not necessarily specifically in this show, right? For all we know, those lightsaber colors could change by the end. These are trailers. These aren't necessarily locked in scenes from the show, right? Everything can change at any given point. We don't know. They rope-a-dope us all the time. Look what they did with Luke during the season 2 Mando. So yeah, it just, you know, I just feel like we're going down a path right now that is very much, I feel like in a positive way. I feel like we're in a good place. Um, yeah, I feel like we're in a good
Star
place.
Wars Celebration is such a good time, man. Like we definitely I feel like we're in a good place too, to your point. But it's hilarious how like just Wednesday when we, after the Mandalorian episode, half the internet's like, oh, that was one of the worst episodes of Mandalorian, and now we're all in such a great place as Star Wars fans just a couple days later. That's like the power that the fandom has, and that I feel like the power of hope that Star Wars has, because yeah, you might not like certain things, and there's so many projects now. I'm sure there's going to be some that I don't even like. I wasn't even a huge fan of this episode, although I watched it back and I could appreciate it a little more. And I think that's the other thing too, is like we get so like we want it now, like we just we don't let the stories play out. You know what I mean? Like even myself, I'm going, all right, where the heck is this Mandalorian season going? And it's like we still have almost 2 hours potentially of content to tell the ending of this story.
I'm one of
like
the only people that's completely patient with these shows, not expecting more. I don't complain about what I got or didn't get, or what I think I'm owed, or that I know better than the writers and creators of these content. I guess maybe I don't think that way. Maybe that's an ego thing. Maybe at this point in my life, maybe I've shed that portion of my ego, because there's a lot of other ego in my life that I have a buttload of. But in this regard, maybe I've uh I've come to grips with the fact that I don't know everything, and that I let these guys take me on a journey without expectation, because I don't expect anything. I hope, I speculate, I have a good time with it, but I don't let something that disappointed me ruin it for me. And if it ruins it for you, I feel for you, because you're taking something away from yourself in those moments. And for me, it's something to enjoy, and I don't want to poke as many holes in it as I can, because yes, there are everything is fallible. Nothing is done perfectly. Very few things in television and movies are done to perfection, to satisfy all parties involved. There's very few projects. I'll give you, for example, the Top Gun Maverick hit everybody in the feels. I didn't hear anybody say that movie was trash. Everybody was like, great sequel. 40 years later, good job. Right? You don't get that very often. And especially in Star Wars, there's always going to be the complainer somewhere. Maybe I don't feel it as much, and maybe it doesn't hurt me as much when they don't do Luke, or when they don't do Anakin as proper as they could have with the de-aging, or whatever the case is in these moments. I tend to look past them because I want to be happy.
Well, I mean, and something that I will constantly, it's a mantra of my channel, even like I do a lot of gaming over there, and I try to stay very niche with like the extraction gaming, but we talk Star Wars all day over there. And it's like, for me, this story's never ending, man. So the people out here taking their ego out and just going,
oh yeah,
throwing that shit on the table. It's like, bro, in a month they could write in some shit that completely debunks your whole hill you're willing to die on. So
but there's also moments,
I will always speculate. But there's
what
could have been, what should have been, what will be.
Like Jack Black and Lizzo. I have said it frequently. I am not a fan of famous cameos. That is not how George wrote his movies. He did not bring in very many famous actors to make these parts come to life. He hired no names. He hired people that have done maybe the stage but not movies, or maybe were popular but not superstar mega popular, where you recognize them and their superstardom, right? Jack Black and Lizzo are two of the most famous not just actors, famous musicians.
I was gonna say, I didn't even know how many subscribers Lizzo had until I looked at saw her. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, my better half was like, I didn't like that shit either. I don't like it because it's not the way that George did his Star Wars, right? He hired Carrie. I mean, the Alec Guinness was like the most famous person on A New Hope, right? So for those reasons, I feel like that is a lost art. This isn't Modern Family where everybody on the lot gets to come and get a part, right? I don't I didn't like that, but I'm not going to harp on those things that I don't like. I'm going to look past them, enjoy the fact that Grogu was helping that chick win the whole time. And everybody's like, oh my God, I've never seen such luck before. And meanwhile, Grogu's like, ha ha, you sons of bitches, that's me. Right. So I enjoyed these little things, as dumb and out of place as they felt, because it's not Star Wars. Sasha Banks is another example. I don't like celebrity cameos in Star Wars. I'm sorry, I don't. And yeah, I mean, look, again, your opinions, I appreciate them and they're great. Yeah, it was about the only famous person, right? So this is my issue with it. It has nothing to do with the person. It has nothing to do with the character. It has nothing to do with the talent they have in other aspects. For me, Jack Black playing that character immediately takes me out of it, because he doesn't. You think of other characters that he's portraying in this moment. I don't like it, but I don't harp on it. I'm not letting that ruin the episode. I'm letting that murder or that Din Djarin.
Din Djarin is droid detective.
I enjoyed that a lot. Watching him kick over super battle droids in the docks was perfection for me. I enjoyed the ever loving shit out of that, because he was I could see his smile through his Beskar. He was having so much fun kicking these droids, right?
Yeah.
Talking to the Ugnaughts. That's a callback to season 1 with Queel. That's a callback to understanding another species, much like the Tuskens, right? There's this level of intelligence that this brute has, right? This Mandalorian has this level of intelligence with other species and understanding culture and all this shit that makes this show so great. Yes, there are faux pas where characters and cameos suck, but we can look past those cameos. We can look past those moments that aren't great and see something awesome, which is what we saw in the last scene of that. Somebody was like, "Oh, that fight scene was blah, was mid," and I was like, "Dude, that was one of the most badass fight scenes we've ever had in Star Wars live action without lightsabers." Like the stunt coordination to be falling down, rope somebody, spin and twist, like that whole coordination was amazing just in the choreography. Knowing they're on wires and ropes and spinning machines and all that John Wick shit that they do. It was amazing. And taking that last 10 minutes and letting that cleanse my palate for the whole episode was fantastic. And I thank them for writing it that way, because if they'd have done that at the beginning of the episode, it would have sucked. So for me, I enjoyed the payoff of Din Djarin and Bo-Katan droid detectives. And the payoff was I got to see Bo-Katan get the Darksaber back in what I felt like was the best way possible. The only way it could have happened in the current story, right? The timing, where it had to happen. I've been saying all this stuff for a long time. She can't just gut the man in private. You know, she's got to get it in front of, she's got to get the Darksaber in front of the clan, you know? So there's a lot of good going on in Star Wars, man. If I am up in the morning, I will, I'll give you a jingle.
Hey, you're trying to close out? I was being patient. I was too.
Send me a link. If you're not going, I'll start mine. If you're going, I'll send me a link.
Either way, my guy, I'm down.
But wait, we're not ending the show.
Where do you want to go?
Are you ending the show right now?
I was ready to talk about this last episode of Mandalorian. All of a sudden,
I was being patient. I was letting y'all get that shit off your chest. So are you done?
I didn't even say anything yet.
Chief, go ahead, please.
Well, all I was
tell me how terrible the cameos were. Please go, please.
Well, all I was gonna say, I didn't even Jack Black didn't fully take me out of it. Like if it was just Jack Black, that would have been fine. To me, like the fact Lizzo's not even an actress took me out of it. And then like I was like, okay, now we have Jack Black and Lizzo and Christopher Lloyd, which Christopher Lloyd definitely belongs in the Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. Like the dude is a G. But then also, yeah, I thought his character would be more important than it was, I guess. Which like there you go for having expectations, you know what I mean? To your point. And then the other thing is like I feel like they've done such a great job of building Din Djarin to be this like well-rounded character that talks with Tuskens and almost is a leader among men. Like he leads the Mandalorian people, and then they go out of the way to have him give the Darksaber back to Bo-Katan in this. And that didn't, I don't have any like that's not wrong to me. Like I think that will work in the long run, but it also makes me feel like, damn, we had Din Djarin get the Darksaber at the end of season 2, and he's almost done nothing with it. Not that like he actually has done nothing, because he's had scenes where he's trying to use it, but he didn't even have it long enough to really, be able to actually wield it or learn how to wield it. You know what I mean? Like he didn't.
I mean, I get why though. Every
Oh,
time
I do too. I was still
every
getting
time
into
he
that,
picks
but
it up, it's like lifting a 5,000-pound hammer, right?
because
Like
he doesn't want it, because he is the reluctant
he
leader.
doesn't.
But that's
Yeah,
why, to me,
whatever.
like I'm hoping his character arc develops to the point where he does want to rule, or realizes that he could be a better ruler than Bo, at least. Because to me, in this episode, that's what it felt like. It felt like he was going more destined to be a better ruler than Bo, but he thinks like he doesn't want it, so he still gave it to Bo. Like even with the Ugnaught stuff, she was like, "Oh, like your
Well,
droids are
he's honorable
malfunctioning."
enough to know that he doesn't own it anymore.
Yeah, but at the
True.
same
Like,
time, he
like
doesn't.
he made up that whole story, but it's not in his mind made up. In his mind, it's what happened, and it should be
Well, but that
so.
that is
He's
exactly
so
what
like
happened.
he's
I
so
mean,
self-righteous. It's crazy. Like just to see this man act so selfless, but also at the same time, like never wavers from his decisions. Like
but
he is so focused on his inner morals are like he's the epitome of the perfect human, if you ask me.
but
He's
at the
never
same
shown me
time,
otherwise.
he is he. How can I put this? He does his mission in his existence is not centered around being a leader, right? His
No.
existence is more right now to unite his people, right? To get his people a place to flourish, to have a place where his foundling can learn and train and grow and not be on the run, not hide in coverts where they come out one at a time. His focus
Yeah.
is to unite his people and to give them a place to go. Whereas Bo's drive is to lead, right? And who's to say every general needs lieutenants and captains
True.
that are willing to sacrifice for the cause, that are willing to be out there and be the face of the organization, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be the king or queen or the leader that has to be out there negotiating. That is usually saved for drastic times. Bo's leadership is not about just the saber. She's earned the respect of the zealots, the cult that she once was a part of, but they didn't even believe it that deep until after the purge, right? So she's earned the respect of the cult. She has to earn the respect back from her old clan that left. Now she whooped that ass. I love the I challenge you aspect of it because it's there at the forefront for another Mandalorian to challenge her potentially. Go ahead, Scotty. I know you're dying to get in.
I know. I'll let you guys just like move to the next topic, but I don't know if Nerd Mafia is still here, but I just have one thing to say to him because he's a Bears fan, and it's the only Lizzo line I know. New man on the Minnesota Vikings, because that's my team. And I'll be honest with you guys, like she fucking killed it, bro. She had more lines of any cameo in any season of the show combined, and she slayed it.
No,
and I
dude.
will just end this with those two are now and forever will be Grogu's grandparents, and nobody is going to change my mind.
Like
So
God's
y'all can
godparents?
suck it. And yes, the channel is
for Lizzo
Hawk
herself.
Holocrons. You can also at Scotty
Do it.
Hawk. You'll find my channel if you search at Scotty Hawk. It's me.
Check out Scotty Hawk's Holocrons. Do it. And I will say, I'm not a huge fan of Lizzo. I'm definitely not that big of a fan of her music, and
Bro, she
I wasn't even a
crushed that.
big fan of her cameo, but she definitely did a great job as someone that I'd never seen any acting experience from. And I will say for her, congrats on the W. I know she's a big Star Wars and Grogu fan, and that's what makes me happy with the whole thing. And another thing, I saw some people complaining that Din Djarin's arc of learning to trust droids has been kind of, I don't know, put on the background or almost like reversed to where he's like, hating droids again. And I don't think that's the case. I think people are taking last episode out of context to the point where, first of all, these are B2s that he's dealing with that literally killed his parents. Second of all, his job was literally to find the malfunctioning droids. So of course he's gonna, like, him kicking down the droids was fun for him because he hates the B2s, but it was also because he's trying to find the malfunctioning droid. And third, he literally trusted R5 going to Mandalore, and R5 still stabbed him in the back. Not to mention he was trying to bring back IG-11, and that dude tried to kill him this season too. So if there's been any reversion, it's been like kind of displayed, and also I don't think there has been.
Well, and I was saying,
Maria, I love you too, but I'm just gonna quote one of our other favorite legacy characters, George. You can write this shit, but nobody can read the lines. Nobody can read the lines. You want to talk about her delivery? Go back and watch the episode and listen to some of the shit that they were told to say. Like, it's Star Wars words, planets, Imperial, bro. Like
shit she don't know about. But look, ultimately, aside from that,
all mad about stuff you should.
I feel like what a great look. And I was saying this in one of my other streams. If you really are locked into that Grogu IG Megazord that everybody's been trying to get behind, then what better place than a droid planet to find an IG, any part, right? I mean, I just feel like if they really are, heading down that IG 11, even repairing IG-11 as a character, what better place to find those parts than from the Ugnaughts, right?
Listen, when him, C-3PO, R2-D2 all transform into a Megazord, y'all are gonna remember that this is what you wanted and this is what you got hyped for. Okay, these leaks about little baby Grogu Kang, the little like he's literally gonna look like Kang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like a little brain just sitting inside the stomach of this thing. Like, I hope they do that. I really hope they do that. I hope.
What better place to find these old ass parts than with their old ass droids? I mean, think about it. There were B1 battle droids. There were super battle droids. There were
Give me some fights on top of Star Destroyers in space with no oxygen. Fuck it.
With horses. With horses.
Let's go.
With space horses. Okay. Yeah, man. Look, I really enjoyed the last episode. Then again, I'm not a harsh critic when it comes to blasters and jetpacks and chasing droids through the city. It felt very Anakin and Obi-Wan chasing bounty hunters through Coruscant. That's the vibe I got. That's how I felt. It was a lot of fun. I know a lot of people didn't like the episode. They felt it was out of place. Cool. I mean, I get it. I just kind of solidified two things at the end of that episode. Number one, Moff Gideon was not rescued by Mandalorians, and that the Empire has absolutely developed projectile Beskar weapons. And that, could hold true to Thrawn moving forward, to Snoke's army, whatever.
Wait, where's this from? You're right on this. It's confirmed 100,000%.
No, these are my speculations. Okay. My speculations are real simple.
You're right a lot. I try to try to keep you humble.
No, this is today's victory day. Today's victory lap. I'm going to change the title of this stream to the victory lap, the Star Wars Obsession victory lap, because that's what today is for me. All the shit that I've been saying that people are like,
Obsession, you're so goddamn stupid. Could you be any more of a fake ass troll fan? You don't know shit about Star Wars. My dog knows more about Star Wars than you do. He shits more Star Wars knowledge than you know.
This is the kind of hate I get for the last 2 or 3 years, saying all roads lead to Rey. Sequels are not going anywhere. Quit your crying. Get on board. Today is W Day. Today is not Saturday. Today is winning. Hashtag we are winning over here. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Look, this episode, I know a lot of people feel like it's not great, but I ain't saying I'm alone. I'm just saying it's true. There's a lot of people that contribute to my correctness, but the fact that I am correct means I am correct. There ain't no goddamn thing around it. I'm right. Everybody else that told me I was wrong was wrong. Today's W Day.
Jameis Winston, got to eat those W's.
Today's W. I could count them. I could be like Roger Rabbit right now. Let me count the ways.
W weekend for me.
Two. Yeah, I mean, dude, we're winning right now. I'm winning. I know that I may have 16 loyal followers that are here enjoying our stream, and I might not be getting thousands of views for the hate that's spewing from that's literally, I could feel the hate salivating on Twitter and YouTube. I literally could. I'm at working around people getting their butts kicked, and literally I can feel the salivating hate mob for Star Wars Celebration on YouTube. And also, I'd like to say, remember all those people were
like, oh my God, Star Wars is not streaming anything from Celebration, you guys.
It's dead.
Oh my God, guys, we're not even going to be able to watch or talk about it. The only people that are going to get to know anything about it is not fair. This is not my Star Wars.
Suck it. 2 days, 18 hours of panels, 18 hours of nonstop Star Wars, but they weren't going to stream anything for y'all. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Complain, get your clicks. Clickbait and click hate, make money on YouTube. Get it. Make your money, pay your bills. Do what you got to do. Buy your retirement home, get a Ferrari. Whatever makes you happy with these click money. Get it, girl. I encourage
Lambo.
a Lambo, whatever tweaks your peak. Okay, I don't care. I'm just saying, call a W a W. And today is the day of W's. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
W's.
W.
I love how everyone who's in chat watching, there's like every half hour that goes by, someone who is watching has someone in the background watching that hears the voice you do, and they're like, what the fuck is that? That's like the second comment we've had on it tonight, Maria.
It's great because like it comes out of nowhere. It's like, I mean,
you just tell them that's half of the Star Wars fandom, and that's all they need to know.
That's it. Like half of us are like, all right, this was all right, and the other half are crying about something, or you know, it's somebody's always crying about something. It's all good. Look, we got. I'm like I said, if we're up tomorrow morning and I got nothing going on, I'll come in here into the office and be as quiet as I can while the rest of the house is asleep. But ultimately, man, look, I've got a lot today and yesterday gave me a lot of hope. Hearing what's on the deck, seeing what we got from Dave, hearing John and Dave talk, Kathleen Kennedy breaking it down as to what's coming, a Star Wars Rey movie is coming. I mean, everybody in the fandom. Right? Whatever your feel is on the fandom, man, I feel like this is great timing. This is a great time to be a Star Wars fan. I said it last year. I was saying it again this year. This is Star Wars' years. Last year was a great year for Star Wars. This year, I feel, is a great year for Star Wars. So celebrate. I wish I was there. That's how much I'm sad that I wish I was there. I'm planning 2020.
The FOMO is real.
That's it. The FOMO is legit. I left a stream the other night, a Zelda stream, and I got FOMO from that. Then Celebration starts, and I got FOMO. I've been feeling FOMO all week. All week, it's been FOMO for me. So I feel everybody who isn't at Celebration, who wanted to be at Celebration next year, there is no Celebration next year. So we're gonna have to make our own celebration. Maybe everybody just come to Vegas for the non-celebration celebration. We'll just all get together and shill over. We'll make it Shillabration.
Oh yeah,
Star Wars Shillabration. We'll get all the shills in one place, and then maybe Doomcock can come out and be like, "You're a shill, and you're a shill, and you're a shill, and you're all shills," and then we can go home. But yeah, man, I feel like this is a great time for Star Wars. I'm excited. I'm just catching up. I haven't even got all the tea yet. I know Maria's been preaching the Thrawn versus Snoke battle royale.
I see that shit.
Like crazy. So we're gonna do a 2-minute drill. What do we think about that? We think. I mean, is there a possibility to establish the leader of the next First Order? Like, what's the scoop? Let's get on it. 2-minute drill.
All right, 2-minute drill. Go for it, Scotty.
So, bro, I love this theory actually that they're both trying to be an heir to the Empire, and Thrawn wouldn't even know that Snoke is still Palpatine. Like, ooh, boy.
Yeah, I still think that there's potentially two factions of the Empire. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. I don't even know if Thrawn is really working for the Empire, although it does seem he's the heir to it. but I don't know how involved he's going to actually be with the Palpatine cloning stuff. I think that could be two different kind of factions. So it would make sense if there's kind of a Snoke Gideon battle.
Well, also, was there not rumor that we know that that Snoke was handsome at one point, and that he actually tells Ben Solo Luke gave him his injuries? That might be a lie.
Right. Well, I mean, it seems like everything that he told Kylo was a lie. What he told Ben Solo was a lie. So, I mean,
every voice.
Yeah, I mean, I've been every
voice in your head that you've ever had.
But look,
like
I mean, ultimately, it seems like it would be awesome to see a battle between the two of them, and it would be awesome to see a mass, because everything's ruled by the governors right now. The local governors have control as much as they have control. The New Republic has control of some parts. Some parts are apparently still Imperial ran. Apparently, it's like the Wild West in the Outer Rim. Nobody's doing shit for nobody. So it seems like what a great opportunity. You know, whenever there's a vacuum, there's always something to fill that void, right? Whenever there's an opportunity.
Well, it's kind of a safe bet. I mean, I know Maria is citing that he had a solo interview today, but it's a safe bet that Snoke will, in voice, return at some point.
Yes.
Regardless if we get full-blown CGI Andy Serkis in there or not. Like, eventually we're going to see a hologram. We're going to hear it. Like, you know, it's coming. So,
well, and look, I mean, to see those two fleets fight and to pick the enemy of my enemy, right? Like, that's a very Luke Skywalker thing also. You know, did I make a mistake in helping one faction or the other? You know,
the vacuum is just going to fill the void.
Exactly. And that's what he learns. You know, it's very Jeff Bridges in Tron, right? It's very like, to stop fighting is to take a piece off the board, right? Yeah, dude, it's a great. The second one, Legacy, is fantastic, but to use that analogy, I remove myself from the board because every time I fought back, my enemy got stronger. So removing myself from the board put a stalemate out there for the time. Is that the steps we're looking to? Is every time Luke does something to counteract, to help, he gets knocked down or something bad or negative happens, right? There's so much that could happen in that space to give us more info on that PTSD Luke, to give us more on that
Jake Skywalker everybody talks about.
So, you know, I mean, there's so much room in there to give us this great storytelling, and the fact that these actors are on board is amazing. Last thing, yes or no, is Grogu a girl?
No.
Okay, because that's what I read today. Somebody was like,
Ahsoka. I think Ahsoka even calls him a he, and she can actually talk to him. So
I thought the same thing, but I heard it online, and you know, sometimes you gotta ask the community for the tweet, you know, if the tweet was wrong or not. But apparently, the tweet was wrong. Last thoughts, Sheev. You're gonna try to get up in the morning and stream with the celebration stream that's not supposed to be streaming according to the streamers.
Yeah, we'll be streaming the stream that's not streamed to everybody, and they can watch along with us. So hopefully, you know, crossing my fingers, I can get some sleep tonight and do that. I think the Jedi Survivor trailer is supposed to drop around 4 my time, so 4 Pacific time, 7 Eastern, I guess, is the time that hopefully we'll be streaming, if that's the case. But it is Easter too, so
we'll try. Scotty, what do you got going on? You playing some Tarkov? You gaming? I saw you playing today. I hope you're clipping some.
Yeah, I have been doing a lot of the game is Escape from Tarkov. It's an extraction shooter where, like, not like other battle royals, the gear you take in, if you die, you don't come out with it. So very high risk, high reward. That's what I primarily try to do on my channel, because I talk so much Star Wars with other people. I actually prefer it that way. I thank Obsession for allowing me to come here and be as vulgar and rant time.
We love it, dude. Look.
He put a Rancor to sleep.
Exactly.
Come in and say whatever you want, bro. Makes no never mind to me.
If you're interested in a piece of Star Wars that not a lot of people are hyped about, is the High Republic. I talk about that shit all the time on my channel. This row of comics back here is the entire, like, first 16 of the set.
Check that out.
I feel like Kevin Feige at the end of his presentations, we didn't get time to talk about the High Republic. Like,
I know, but that's
so
tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Something that
the Survivor trailer's coming, so we might get more High Republic hints tomorrow. That's kind of why I saved it. Why I didn't go there today. Because
something that I love.
We'll go
that
there
obsession.
tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying.
That obsession. You know, I don't know if it was me talking about the comic all the time, but like, all props to him for breaking down all the Charles Soule Vader comics.
I love that.
If you guys remember the series that he did,
it's in the Kenobi homework in the playlist if you want to watch it.
First or second issue of that comic, they mention Kirik Infila. He is a Jedi who takes this thing called the Barash Vow. He removes himself from the Force. This is something that Luke does later in the sequels. They explain why he does it, why it happens. This guy, I know I'm ranting. I'm sorry, but
you're good. You're good. You're good.
There's a character that we meet in the High Republic. His name is Engel Porter. You know nothing about him.
Yeah, Mike Porter. I love that guy.
Other than he's like when we first meet him in Phase 1, he's like a chef. Like he's literally just a guy, just an old Jedi, whatever. Actually, his name is the Blade. His name is the Blade.
Yeah.
And Charles Soule has wrote an entire comic about this guy. And his sister's first name is Barash. She was the first Jedi to take this vow.
Really?
This was just announced today. So if anybody's interested in probably one of the most dope High Republic characters you could ever look up, his name is Porter Engel, and his sister is Barash. The comic is called
Porter Engel.
the comic is called The Blade. So he was like the duelist of the High Republic. He was like Anakin Skywalker of the High Republic, basically. So we can talk about it all day tomorrow, dude. If nothing's going on,
that's why I didn't bring it up, because I know the game trailer was the last game trailer was coming out tomorrow, and I know we're going to get into that, and we could be another flashback or something from that character or wardrobe or something. So I kind of saved it for that because I knew that was coming. I'm really excited for the last trailer. The game is releasing in 20 days, less than 3 weeks. Everybody will be playing. I think I'm going to do another run through. I don't know if I'm going to do it here on this channel. I might do it on a gaming platform we will not discuss because we're on YouTube, but I might do it on another platform just because I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it feels. Maybe I'll do another run through here like we did last time. But yeah, man, look, it's Jedi Survivor time. So I'm excited for the trailer. Let's talk High Republic tomorrow. If we can get up, if I see an invitation from you, I'll jump on. If you see an invitation from me, you jump on. We'll figure out who's there first. But yeah, it's going to be a banger of a day tomorrow. It was a banger of a day to get me. We don't do 3-hour streams usually. I have to go to use the facilities. I got to get a drink. I got there's so much going on. Right? Yeah, we don't usually go this long. I don't know how the guys over on the other streams are going for 9 or 10 hours together. That's insanity. But congratulations to them for putting up those kind of numbers. Look, I'm excited. Thank you guys. Number one, community, because we're going to try. We don't know how it's going to go. I've always said I don't care about monetizing the channel, but today during this stream, we just hit the 4,000 view hours. We've got the numbers. So we're going to apply and see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, I think that, like I said, I want to get that done. I'm excited for that. Today was a milestone for that. We are going to be giving away instructions on Monday for the giveaway. We're going to give everybody 1 week to get their submissions in before we do the private unlisted stream for you guys.
Pay attention.
Only for members. So get in the Discord. If you're not a member of the Discord, get to the About section. There is a website specifically for our Discord. Get in there, become a member. There's going to be a giveaway tab on the side. There's going to be a form you fill out telling us your YouTube name, telling us your Discord name, giving us a little bit of information, hopefully getting to have you on the stream when it's time. If you win, that's my goal. So everybody pay attention in the Discord. That is going to be what's driving this giveaway. It's for the PlayStation. We're going to be giving away Black Series helmets. You as the winner of that are going to be able to tell me what helmet to order you. I'm not going to have a helmet specifically for here. If you want a Wedge Antilles helmet, if you want a Poe Dameron helmet, if that's your flavor, that's what you get. If you want a Bo-Katan or a Mando or whatever your flavor of helmet is, aside from the white Mando, I'm not paying $600 for a helmet. That's more than the PlayStation. You're out of your mind. But the rest of the white Boba helmet. But the rest of it, look, I'm feeling hyped right now. We just hit the monetization goal. I want to get monetized so I can give all of that directly back to you guys. Hawks knows, X-Wing knows, the guys over at ADHD knows. I supply a lot of people with a lot of gear. I try to share the wealth across the community. Anybody who needs anything has always reached out. And that is going to facilitate more of that. Sending people cameras, we're also going to be giving away streaming stuff too. Cameras, whatever you guys want. Whatever the winner needs, we're going to do some stuff. Like, we're going to do some big shit.
We said forget the algorithm, we'll build our own.
That's it. We're going to do some big shit. We're building some hype on this. Survivor's coming. It's going to be a great rest of the month. It's going to be a great summer with the Ahsoka show coming. So everybody make sure to get over to the Discord and become a member. Get over to the Vader's Lair. Subscribe to this guy over here. Make sure to give him some love. Down to get over. I put Hawks's channel in the
high risk gaming. You've never watched this type of
right
gaming.
There. Hawks's link is right there. Vader's Lair. If you want to get over there, I highly recommend you do that also, because help these guys get help Hawks get monetized, help him to get to the point where he can go ahead and join the fun with all the big kids. And you can watch some amazing watching him game over on his channel. He plays these high level games and then he comes slumming with us on like Fortnite, and he's a monster. He's a monster.
The best part of what I play is there's in-game voice. So I can literally talk to the other people who are shooting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is literally what separates it and makes, even though I'm not great, that makes it all the more.
Sometimes he'll walk up and be like, "Hey, are you cool? Are you cool? Okay, back out, out."
Oh no, wait, you're a computer. Never mind, you won't talk back.
So yeah, man, it's a lot of fun to watch over there. Get over there. He talks about Star Wars while he's gaming. We game on all kinds of platforms. Also, get over to the Matt Cave. We're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers next. He's over 600. He's next on the list to get over that monetization mark.
It's sad. I keep asking Matt Cave. I'm like, how many more years until Fortnite's on way back?
I know, right? Well, actually, it should be way back.
It's like, the game's been out for how long?
Like, yeah, it's been out since 2007 or something like that, right?
It can't be retro. Yeah,
but I told him, we got to support all the local or unlocal. We got to support all of the brethren in the YouTube space, all the people that are trying to put out good content on a continuous basis. So if you haven't, I'm going to put Matt Cave's link also in the description. So you guys please get over there, help the Matt Cave
Matt Cave was at 666. So if we can get him away from that, that'd be great.
Let's see. The Matt Cave right now is at 666. So who's going to be?
If one person can subscribe,
please over there. We can get him off of some bad.
Go sub now.
But yeah, look, the Matt Cave, Scotty over at Ox Holocron, Sheev over at Vader's Lair. Look, all of these guys, Nerd Mafia, Dan the Man, all of the content creators, if they've got a little YouTube check mark next to their name, go ahead and get over there and subscribe to these guys. Let's help get everybody to where they want to be, help them get all the views they need to live their dream. That's really what it's about. A lot of these guys want to do this full time, and this would be a great step forward. So let's help all ships rise when tides are high. Let's make the tide high. Let's help everybody out. So for my buddy Sheev, for Hawks Holocron, Dan the Man, all the rest of the fam, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your support. Reaching that milestone is a huge thing that I didn't think was going to happen a couple years ago. It's been a slow and steady burn, just like all the Star Wars stuff is, which is why we enjoy it. So again, thank you to my cohorts in crime. Thank you to the viewer. As always, don't forget, get out, get your pet spayed and neutered, help control the pet population. Don't forget, read some High Republic, get some homework done. Don't forget to tell your family, friends, pets, loved ones, whoever, how much they mean to you. You never know what the fate brings. And have a great night. As always, everybody, may the force be with you. Have a good time, and we'll see you